Hi guys, how you doing?
Welcome to the 2A Procast. Today is an incredible episode. It is the best podcast we have ever done. We did it in Vegas with Mad Minute Tacticians.
Yes.
And we apologize because...
Well, so we were running out of battery on the camera, and well, I clicked end recording, and by the time the battery had come out of the camera, it did not finish writing the file to the memory card. So we lost the first half of the video.
But the audio is all there, and the audio is incredible. It's all you need anyway because it is a podcast. But when we get into the second half of it, at some point in time, he will put up the minute right here on the video. The video pops back on, and it gets emotional. Both Jacob Tackett and I were crying. Did you cry?
I started to tear up a little bit.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, it was pretty intense. Again, like I said, it was one of the most emotional, cathartic, and best episodes that we have ever done.
Yeah, it's really good. So we highly suggest just listen to it. It's really, really good. It's everything you could ever want and more. And I'm going to play some background footage. It'll be looping, so if you wanted to watch something, it'll be there for you. Other than that, thank you. I apologize.
And enjoy the episode. And we bid thee...
Wait.
No.
Adam,
Adam,
you and Bryce also had a great episode.
You did have a great episode.
It's two different vibes, okay?
High-speed ballistic high-speed episode will be coming very shortly. Yeah.
But I just want to... It's two different episodes, okay, before I get your text message. All right, I love you guys. Enjoy.
Let's do a little bit of an intro at least. Do you have my G Fuel drink? Hi, everyone. This is the 2A Procast. And we have the honor and the privilege to bring you Mad Minute Tactician.
Hi. A tactician of the Mad Minute varietal, if you will, or if you won't. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Like, who are you? What do you do? Who do you claim to be? What do you stand for?
Sure. I want to start with who I claim to be, because I think that's the most important thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think that in life, nothing matters more than your reputation. And I think that your reputation is built off of your actions and never your words, right? So who I am, who I want to be, is I want to be an example for my kid. I want to be an example for people around me. I think that leadership gets misconfused a lot of times for people that are influential. But I think that leadership is the ability to walk your own path, to agree on a moral set of things that are rules that you apply to your life and walk that path whether anyone's with you or not.
Right.
And I think if you do that, you'll turn around one day and there'll be a crowd behind you, you know?
That's it.
So like who I am, what I want to do is I just want to be a dangerous dad. I want to make other dangerous dad. I've always been a little bit older in all of those jobs because I kind of destroyed my life when I was a kid and had to rebuild in the Army. I've always been in kind of a fatherly position in all those jobs, even though I was, 22 or whatever. And you're an 18-year-old kid, they look at you like you're 75.
Dude, I went in when I was 19.
Yeah.
And I felt old.
Yeah.
You got this, like the tail end of 17 and 18-year-olds coming in there.
Yeah.
Right. You're just 2 years older, 1 year older. Yeah, I felt like a fucking old man.
Yeah. And I've just watched my generation devalue getting married, devalue having kids, devalue the family unit. And when we devalued it, look at what happened to our society. If you want to fix active shooters, if you want to fix the mental illness diseases that are going on inside the United States, it starts at home. It starts with the family unit. The government, it can't be the solution to all fucking problems. The pharmaceutical machine can't be the solution to all problems. It's the family unit.
Yep.
And the family unit is run, whether you're Christian or not, that Judeo-Christian value of the man being the leader of the home, it's based off of that. So the importance of you as a man growing, building your moral set, and then developing a family and fucking leading that family, that is your responsibility in life. And that leadership, again, is not telling your wife what to do.
No.
It's taking advice from your wife. It's taking advice from your kids, but it's walking a path, even if you're walking it alone with your family. And your wife supports you on the back, and your wife motivates you to walk that path.
Right. Know? Well, I mean, people get the idea of what a leader is so confused. It's literally in the word. Like to lead.
Yeah, you
lead the path. Yes, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
You've got to be the first one to do a thing.
Right.
Yeah.
And you can't lead like an officer.
No.
You can't lead like an officer that says we lead from the front, except I've always got to turn around and talk to you.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, so that's one of the things that it was incredibly magnetic. Like the second I came across your platform, and I don't know if I came across it or you said check this guy out, but either way, once you started showing up on my feed, And it was immediate, man. I saw the first couple of messages where like, do not devalue the nuclear family. Do not devalue this premise that like men need to be men and move forward and love your fucking family. And it was funny because it was right on the tail end of me coming out of I just recently started going to church. I hadn't really gone to church my whole life. And I just figured like, you know what? I need something. I need more. I just want more. And I didn't know what the fuck it was, but it was one of the first times that I went in church and I came out of church. And at the very end of that sermon, the guy said, you know what? And the whole thing wasn't even really religious. It was just like, hey, be a fucking good human.
Be a good human.
Yeah, be a good human.
Like, let's all get together. We're all in here trying to do the same thing. Be a good human, everybody. And he wrapped everything up with, and I've said it before. You've heard me say it before, but it was a Mother Teresa quote. And it was, if you want to change the world, go home and love your family.
Yes.
And
yes.
And then I saw that thing from you, and it was just kind of like, the stars align. You see one
puzzle pieces just
right. Yeah, when like you buy a fucking car, like you buy like a fucking Ford Taurus, and then like all of a sudden you see Ford Tauruses fucking everywhere.
Yeah.
Right. Like you never notice them before.
Yeah, you never noticed them before.
That was the thing. It just like these things started popping up, almost like little clues.
You got to listen to the universe, man.
Yeah.
I was just like, man, like it's right in my fucking face.
I'm such a firm believer. I was talking to Patriot Rich at SHOT Show this week, and like he's doing like a biblical podcast with some other guys with the CEO of Huxworks. They do like a weekly like men's Bible study, and he was asking me if I'd be interested in being involved, which would be very cool. That would be. I'm not a. I told him like I'm not a Christian. I don't. Right. The concept that I'm supposed to pray to Jesus Christ, you lose me a little bit.
Right. Yeah. I totally get that. Even sitting in church, I'm kind of like,
yeah, because
I grew up being here. Yeah. But at the same time, I need. Like my lack of spirituality sometimes. Yeah. I need that fucking message. I need to be around people who are. So
it's a nonprofit organization that has the ability to drive money through itself. So there is once you can put money into something like that, there is a layer of corruption that will go with it.
Absolutely.
Whether it's the Catholic Church during the Dark Ages or whether it's a local Southern Baptist church, there's always should be wary of the corruption potential inside of those organizations. TV preachers are a prime example, right? So
Joel Osteen.
Yeah, getting me to necessarily say that I'm going to go with the Bible, the NIV version, that the words are exactly the same words that were written 4,000 years ago, and I'm not buying it. I'm having a hard time, right? But being in the military, being a firefighter in the fire department, I have seen things that I just can't explain, and I listened to my wife talking about the importance of the nuclear family. The most influential thing to ever happen in my life was meeting my wife. She pushed me to be a leader. She pushed me to be someone that stood a moral line. She took someone who was a broken human that didn't know what to do with myself and built a functional man and then sent me into the world. That is what a church group can do for everyone that's involved in it. The importance of coming together and being a part of people, and then the importance of listening to the universe and just accepting that you're not in control of everything. There are things that happen that I cannot explain. We should listen to that. And dude, if you start to listen to the universe and you look for those repeating signs of things, the Ford Taurus effect, you'll see it in your life, man. The company that I partnered with to do my rifle, they're Wolfpack Armory. I had nightmares as a kid about wolves. My mom would tell me, don't be afraid of the wolves. You are a wolf. There's nothing scary in the dark because you are here. You are the scariest thing in the room. Mm-hmm. I loved that. Yeah. When I met my wife, I listened to her. She had a 3-year-old daughter at the time. So I just stepped into this situation I was completely unprepared for,
Yeah.
My daughter was upset one night and my wife told her the same thing, right? We had never had a conversation about it. She said the same thing that my mom had said. So there was this reoccurring theme in my life of this wolf concept. And then the company that partners with me to really take me into the mainstream and actually monetize some of the stuff I'm doing, they're Wolfpack Armory.
Yeah.
It's these echoes through the universe, through time. You're being directed at something. You should just listen to it.
Yeah.
Whether that's Jesus Christ, whether that, I don't know, but you should listen to it.
Right. You should sit and listen, and because I do believe that humans need spirituality to fucking stay on the right track.
We don't know shit.
No.
It's inherent.
Yeah.
It's inherent that human needs it.
Yeah.
That humans need it, and it's
listen to Elon Musk talk about us being in a simulation. We don't know. We don't
know.
We don't know if we're in some. And you know what? I'm a firm believer, and this may be a little too off track, but this whole why is marijuana illegal type thing? Well,
you know why it's illegal.
I'll just tell you a story real quick. When I smoke, I see the truth. I don't know if it does to me something different than it does to everybody else, because I've heard people have these similar experiences when they do fucking DMT
and
mushrooms, ayahuasca.
Yeah.
I don't need to do that shit because marijuana has taken me there. Now I'm sober now and I don't fuck with that shit. But
see the Matrix code.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm telling you, I would smoke and I fucked up and watched Tron. And I was like,
I see the Matrix.
I'm in a fucking video game.
Yeah.
In a fucking video game.
Yeah.
Right?
See the Matrix.
User
scared the shit out of me. And I'm literally I started seeing the world a little differently. Are we just puppets in this fucking game? Is somebody controlling like what I do and what I say every fucking day? And like whether that's like on this, it's just existential thoughts, right? Like what am I doing here? And is it the government pulling the strings? Is it some other entity pulling the strings outside of this world? But I'll tell you who doesn't want you thinking like that. The fucking person pulling the strings, right? And so, like, to federally prohibit a drug that would get you starting to see the truth in things, and I would genuinely see the truth in, like, people. I would see that, man, this guy would think to myself, and I'd get high, like, this guy's a really genuine guy, like a good guy. And then I would think, this guy's a really bad guy. I shouldn't hang around him anymore. I would start to, like, see these things.
You feel the energy.
Yeah, you feel the energy from people, and you're like, despite of what you're saying, despite the smile on your face,
right.
You know, like, well, I think that we're gonna end up on a tangent talking about weed. So, like,
so we could bring it back, but that's but it all kind of funnels back into, you know, just government control of like certain things, certain substances, and what the real fundamental reason is behind it. But
it removes your anxiety and allows you to stop worrying about yourself and to just start thinking about your existence. That's all it does.
Which is, in essence, a spiritual experience, in and of itself. And that's kind of what it.
Dude, if you were to pump lysergic acid into the water mains for the country, and just everyone in the continental United States had a day together, the entire system would change.
Dude, 100%.
Since I was 15. The first time I ate acid, I like looked at my buddy and I was like, everyone in the world should do this.
Yeah, right. Everyone needs to do it. One of the big problems about like the universe and the energy talks, right? Like, oh, he's got a good energy to him. It's good vibes. The problem is that was taken by fucking pseudo hippies and it was run into the ground.
Yeah.
Right. These people who are like, you just have the bad vibes, man.
Yeah, you need some pistols.
And it's like we're electric meat suits flying on a rock through an empty void in space. Like
that only perceive the world around us through third dimension.
Through here.
Through a certain spectrum of light.
That's a good point. We experience it on the third dimension, and we know the second and the first dimension exist, but we can only see the third dimension.
You want to talk about time?
Yeah.
Prove time.
Right.
Just sit for 5 minutes while you take a poop in the bathroom. Don't look at your phone. And think about the concept of time. Think about the concept of a memory. Prove that something you have done in your life that you remember actually happened.
Right. How do you know it happened?
It's all
other than a memory.
Yeah, that existential concept of like I think therefore I am, like I doubt therefore I think.
Rene Descartes.
Yes,
I fucking love that guy.
I remember being exposed to that when I was like 12.
Yeah,
and I was in a private Christian school. The Bible teacher only taught there like the 1 year because he exposed us to like alternative philosophical concepts, and one of them was the Descartes concept.
Oh, and they got rid of him. Yeah,
they were like.
Yeah.
But like that concept, man, like it haunts me in my life. Like I cannot actually prove anything. Right. So like I shouldn't be anxious about stuff. I should take big swings at things. I should commit myself to things that I believe in because I could literally just be in a room somewhere losing my mind talking to myself. You know, I could be a homeless guy mumbling down the street talking to myself. What the fuck are they talking about? Where are they?
Right.
Where are they? Yeah. Where are they? It's not they're unaware of spatially where they are, who's around them. They genuinely think they're probably talking to another human being, and that's their reality for them.
Near-death experiences from people. There's a whole clinic at UVA in the state that I'm from, Virginia, as the University of Virginia. They have an entire department at the university that studies near-death experiences and reincarnation, like provable like reincarnation cases.
Shit.
There's a great documentary on Netflix called Life After Death. I think is what it's called.
I think I've heard of that.
Dude, it's really good. They have a whole episode that's on like reincarnation, and I feel like it's something that would be very hard for the parent to teach the child because you're talking, they're interviewing 3, 4, 5-year-old kids.
Yeah, I've seen one of these. Wasn't there a dude in America that died, and then some like Irish kid on the other side of the earth?
There's tons of them.
Died, and this kid was born.
Yeah, there's my favorite story from it is this guy who's a little older in life when they had their first kid, and he had been, I don't remember who it was, but he had money to like throw around and just kind of fuck off in his life. His son starts talking about airplanes. And this mission that he was flying and his like wingman that gets shot down, and it's these like graphic dreams and nightmares that he's having and stories that he's having, and it sends the dad to start like investigating stuff because he doesn't know anything about what his son's talking about. So he just decides like, I'm going to entertain this idea, and he takes his son to like an air show, and it's all World War II airplanes and stuff that are there, right? And his son is able to walk around, nothing modern, but he's able to walk around on these World War II planes at the age of like 5. Like he's just kind of talking now.
Yeah.
And describe the engine, the size of the engine, the airspeed, how long it'll run on fuel, when the plane was made, the manufacturers made them. He has these in-depth knowledge base that even someone that followed the stuff wouldn't know.
Right.
So they continue to like follow this whole case study The kids got birthmarks where the flak would have come into this.
The fragmentation killed him.
The guy that he said was his friend and his like wingman, they do a historical search for that guy, and they find these 2 pilots that died over top some island in the Pacific. And the kid's story from an early age
completely matches.
Is detail for detail what happened with these 2 pilots. What the fuck is that?
Dude, yeah.
What the fuck is that?
Have you ever heard of the birthmark theory? Well, I don't know if it's called that, but there's a prevailing theory that birthmarks are where you have died in a past life.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. Or
my daughter has this beautiful one on her hand that as she gets older, like grows and separates, but it was like a very pinpoint spot when she was younger, and I desperately want to know what that was.
Right.
Yeah. So you got the photos of it, and you're trying to figure it out. Maybe fucking AI will do that for you one day.
I tell all my buddies that have finally decided to have kids. Yeah. Like, you need to listen to them, man.
Yeah.
Like, you need to tell me if one of your 3.
Listen to your kids. Yeah.
Have you thought about? Do you have like a photo of it like right now? So like after the podcast, we could do something with it where like we just plug it into. I don't know how familiar you are with like AI and how to use it, and if you are using it. Okay, so if you're using it and you plug that in and just fucking say, hey, what is this from? Like, where could this potentially be from? What body of land would this be around? And get any results back? Have you done that yet?
What do you mean? Like, the landmass?
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't know. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, like taking the photo and say, hey, what landmass is this?
Like, is it an island, or like, what does this possibly look like? What wound could this potentially look like?
Because me and my wife both have a bunch of pictures of she was little when it was kind of more together still. I don't know.
I'm really curious to see like kind of what it came down to, and then maybe you could use that as maybe a starting point to see.
Speaking of AI, because we can start transitioning to something else.
That's how this podcast goes.
It's all over the place.
Have you gone on ChatGPT, the free one, and asked it the rules to the simulation? If we are in a simulation, what are the rules to win? It's the 10 Commandments from the Bible, bro.
Jesus
and it's not written as the 10 Commandments. It's written from the computer, which is just pulling information out of the internet. It's reading humans. It's reading our comments. It's just reading us. And the rules that the computer, which is completely unrelated to humanity, religion, anything,
absolutely,
spits the same guidelines out that people figured out 4,000 years ago.
Because that's fascinating.
That is
crazy.
Fascinating.
It's crazy.
And kind of along those lines of how just inherently deep down in every man, woman, or child is the fundamental idea of God. Right. So when I was attempting to get sober, there's this, there's this kind of mantra in the it's not a mantra, it's kind of a way of life in the world of sobriety, that you need to find a higher power, something to replace the thing that you were actually putting inside your body. And so I was actively, genuinely trying to seek a higher power, trying to stop fucking drinking, trying to be a different fucking human. And if this was the fucking answer I needed to figure out, well, the fucking fundamental problem was I was raised atheist. Right. And so, one of the first people I talked to is, my mom. So I get calling. We're talking. I'm like, why don't you believe in God? And we've had these questions that we've talked about these things before. And in a nutshell, in so many words, I said, deep down in every man, woman, or child is the fundamental idea of God. So what do you think about that? Because that is a thing to be true. We can all agree that that's true. Yeah. And she goes, well, essentially that's why. And I've been told this by her in the past. My mom.
No, I mean, like when you're walking around, that conversation you're having.
Right.
Who is that to?
Yeah.
You're praying, man.
Yeah.
You can call it whatever you want.
You can call it
when you're talking in your head, you're praying to something. Something is listening to you.
Well,
so the response.
You want to know what's crazy really quick? Just quick side tangent.
Don't talk to
me. I'm sorry. Some people don't have a voice in their head.
Yeah, man.
That's terrifying. But anyways, continue.
And I think about this all the time, dude. Like there was a time that I'll never forget about this time where I legit lied to my friend. His name was Ronnie. He's an amazing dude.
Not you, Ronnie.
Still not you, Ronnie. I still love him to death to this day. But he asked me one time, he said, hey, man. And I feel really bad about this because I think he was just trying to connect on a more spiritual level. He said, do you ever talk to yourself?
And you're like, no, man.
Yeah.
No, man.
No, man. And of course I had. Of course I did.
Everyone does.
And I was like, no, man. And he was like, oh, okay. And it was kind of the end of the conversation where he wanted to build a connection, and I just lied because I didn't want to sound like I was a fucking crazy guy, right? My thought was the selfish thought of he's probably heard me talking to myself, and he wants to see if I'm a crazy guy or so. You know what I mean? But reality, I look back.
Are you schizophrenic?
Do we share the same?
Can we be homeless friends?
Yeah. So, but going back to
your friend Ronnie doesn't exist, Jake. He's not real.
You were talking to.
None of us are in this.
The guy that you're actually talking to. It goes another layer.
Jake's just talking to an empty couch.
Yeah. Every time I look away, you guys aren't really there.
That's right. That's right, Bryce. We're not.
Can you edit us out of the video?
Yeah. Can we just disappear?
Yeah. So, but
ultimately, the sum of the conversation that I've had with my mom several times in the past was this concept of the fundamental idea of God is deep down within every man, woman, and child. Well, she's like, well, of course, like that's why we don't believe, because before anybody had the ability to connect and communicate throughout the world, before, like, when, there was cross continents and nobody had the ability to say this is the right religion and carry that message and be an evangelist for that particular religion. People had all the 10 commandments, going back to the same thing you were talking about. There was these same tenets that built up through these communities that had zero communication.
Yep.
And so from the atheist standpoint, this is clearly fabricated by humans because everybody's fabricating the same thing. But for me, it made all the sense in the world that is why I can take the next step in
thousands of years of humans that have just come to the same realization through trial and error in their lives. Right. They've learned lessons through time that have passed down father to son, mother to daughter. Right. And it's just the same shit over and over again.
Yeah.
Just be a decent human being. Have a moral code. Value your
treat others right.
People.
Yep.
Yeah. Draw a hard line. Don't allow yourself to be threatened and controlled.
Hold your morals.
Yeah. It's such a simple thing. It's so disappointing to see it disappear in our culture.
Dude, it is. It's devastating.
And it all, I mean, it's just to come like full circle with it. It all starts at home, man.
It does.
It really does.
It just is what it is. If you want to fix the government, if you have an issue to pick with the federal government, if you have an issue to pick from the liberal side, if you have an issue to fix with the federal government about how we use the war machine and just march around the planet, if that's your big bone to pick, how do you prevent the war machine from happening? You ensure that your child understands what it actually is and does not enlist. You don't feed the machine.
Right.
So if you disagree with it, you just ensure that your family isn't a part of the system. And when a ton of people all come together with that same mindset, things die, things change, regimes leave, the DOD crumbles because there isn't a support. I love the movie A Bug's Life.
Interesting.
Dude,
Such an amazing free fall to see Disney go from making things like A Bug Life when I was a kid, which was literally the tale of the ants versus the grasshoppers. Yeah. And there's this wonderful scene in that movie where one of the grasshoppers like snacks like one of the other ones and says, like, if the ants ever figure out that they outnumber us, our days are done.
Yep. It's so good.
When did we lose? When did Disney go from teaching the idea of what we were, like
of
the
community and standing together,
the small community values? That's what Disney used to stand for. They made movies encouraging children to believe the same concept, that you have the ability to affect the world.
Right.
Now they don't think they have the ability to do anything.
Right.
Completely different.
Yeah. Like, I wish more people understood the value that they could bring.
Of course.
Like.
Right. Everybody has the capability.
Yes.
Everybody does.
And you can blow your life
except for those guys who don't have a voice in their head.
Yeah.
Except for them.
You're a fucking robot.
Yeah.
Dumb people are dangerous, man, because they don't know they're dumb.
Yeah.
If you question yourself, if you question the decisions you make, if you question the things that you say, if you are anxious, it means that you are intelligent.
Right.
If you can operate in a crowd, if you can go to a business meeting and not be anxious, then you're not that smart. It just is what it is.
You know what, man?
And look at our political class.
It's so relieving to hear, and I'm telling you right now, there are people listening to this right now that's going like, "Fuck, dude, I thought anxiety was a fucking crutch.
It's a fucking superpower."
It's a superpower.
ADHD is a superpower.
Yeah, damn straight, dude.
It's a superpower.
Yeah, I used to think
they want you. How the fuck did we allow the pharmaceutical company to use the school system since the 80s to say that if a child can't sit still for 8 hours and listen to me drum on about math,
right,
that there is a problem with that child and we should medicate him with methamphetamines?
Yeah.
What the fuck, man? And we just let that run.
Happen to you?
That's
no. I was the kid that my mom drew a line on.
Okay.
Every school I was ever in, I always got in trouble because I would ask the teacher questions. I thought the point of being here was to learn.
You were moving. You're up and around.
Understand? I'm going to ask questions. I'm going to go back and forth with you.
Right.
I'm in a private Christian school, debating with the teacher about the tenets of the Bible, bro. I'm a problem.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
You got to get me on meth right away.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Dude, I got
this kid on drugs. Allow him to conform.
Yeah, I was thrown out of a current events class when I was in that private school because we had the teacher brought in a TV, rolled the TV in on the cart, played a video of Bill Clinton giving a speech, like just a 2-minute clip.
Yeah.
And then like a 2-minute clip of Bush giving a speech, right? And this is immediately following 9/11.
Right.
There's everyone in the country is behind Bush.
Right.
W can do no wrong, right?
Right.
He was a hero at the time.
W.
He was also a conservative.
I'm never gonna call him Bush again. Thank you. W.
But he was a conservative leader,
Right.
So they play this, and the teacher asked, "Who was a better public speaker, My entire class, which is like 24 people, it's a tiny little school. My entire class said it was W.
It was W. No, it's
and
Clinton.
I lost my
it's
mind.
Clinton.
I was like, you guys are joking, right?
Yeah.
Like, take away what your pastor said. Take away what your daddy said. Take away what he stands for. Take away all of the things that are outside of him just talking. He can't read.
No.
He can't talk. I had a whole
He's
book.
borderline illiterate.
Yeah, I had a whole book at the time that was just like fucked up things that he had tried to say at some point, and it was hilarious. I agree. I'm proud that he was a president that I fought under. I'm proud that I served. Well, I guess I probably didn't because I went in 2009. But you know what I mean? Like I'm proud that he was a leader of my country. Right. But all of that being said, man, he couldn't write a book.
The wars that you fought that
were
initiated
Bill
under
Clinton.
his
Bill Clinton could sit down and just write a book about anything for anything.
Yeah, no, he was incredibly literate. Yeah.
Yeah, when I was younger, man, and that's where
he's still not in trouble.
I love what you said, because that is exactly it. The buck stops like in your own family, right? So if you don't want the system to medicate your fucking kids, then you take control. Don't allow them to medicate the kids. Now, my son, I just had a son, just about almost pushing 2 years old, and there's some serious fucking signs. I even talked to the doc about it. I was like, hey man, like I know I had ADHD like a motherfucker when I was a kid. If you want to call it that, maybe I just we put a fucking label on it, right? And I don't even like that. We've got to like categorize this.
Yeah, you had to scoop water in your mouth while looking out for an alligator, a rattlesnake, and a T-Rex.
Yeah,
and you're telling me that my ability to multitask is a problem?
Yeah, right.
Bro, no, that's Bill. The most successful people in the world run 500 companies through their cell phone while they're on a yacht.
Yeah,
that guy doesn't have ADHD. Bullshit.
Right.
Yeah, and so it's a fucking problem. We need to medicate this, and and it's interesting when
no, they don't want the competition.
Because I will say that the stimulants that I've taken in my life have calmed me down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
they literally have. God, I've always been reluctant to do this on like make it completely public, but there have been I've done cocaine.
I'll tell
I've done a fucking lot of it, right? Done cocaine. I've done a fucking lot of it in the past, and I will say that on record, that shit brings me like it's kind of like
it's a tranquil.
Like, boom, let's go.
Yeah,
I'm like
I'm like focused.
I'm just gonna like chill and focus where everybody else is doing this other thing, and then like weed does the opposite, and alcohol kind of does the opposite, where it gets me going. It's a depressant for most people, but it fires me up. It gets me aggressive. It gets me going. It gets me moving.
That's why I don't drink anymore.
And so. So
I want to set your couch on fire.
When I was a kid, and I had like all this creativity, all these things that I was doing, and I was writing poetry, but I was also not sitting at my fucking desk like they wanted me to, not being a good little fucking student like they wanted me to. And then the doctor was like, well, your son's got ADHD, so they put me on Ritalin. Then I fucking became wicked OCD. Like I was neurotic. I was like, this has to be clean, and this has to be this, and that has to sit there, and who the fuck moved that?
Who would have thought methamphetamine would have done that?
Right. I became fucking neurotic.
Yeah. How many clocks did you take apart in your room and never put back together?
Exactly.
You were at the neighbor's house taking tires off at 2 o'clock.
Exactly. Have you ever driven by that fucking meth head's house and he's got 100 cars in his yard?
He's got 100 projects that are halfway done.
He's like, listen, I'm gonna get to it. Don't worry.
I couldn't sleep. I couldn't eat. This is not normal human behavior.
Did you try to overthrow Europe?
Did you all of a sudden lose a testicle?
Well, I played a lot of Risk.
What? How do you feel about?
My favorite game.
How do you feel about?
We should hang out sometime, do some cocaine, and play Risk.
Listen. When you were doing this, how did you feel about Poland?
Did you have a desire to overthrow the world?
Yeah.
That is have you ever read the book Blitzed? It talks about the rampant use of methamphetamines in the German military.
No, but I've read
it's so interesting
accounts of that.
Yeah.
Where the entire military, and it happened especially through the initial Blitzkrieg of France.
Yeah.
Like that's what kept them going.
They were just on
Blitzkrieg.
It wasn't just the military. It was the housewives. It was the production facilities. Right. It was everyone. They were all. I can't remember the name of the gum, but it was like a gum that they got. So the entire society was on it. So it was this incredibly high-functioning society for like 2 years until the supply line started to get shaky. And then your frontline soldiers you had divisions going through DTs all at the same time. So like this guy through the
DT is detox. Yeah. For those who don't know.
Delirium.
For those of you who have never seen shit coming out of the wall while you were DTing.
Delirium treatment.
Yeah. But the guy that
seeing things, you're shaking, you're cold sweats.
The guy that wrote that book essentially said like the downfall of the German war machine
was running out of meth.
They had created this thing that allowed them to blitzkrieg, that allowed them to be more aggressive than any other military before, but it ultimately was what destroyed them because they just had a bunch of drug addicts. They just couldn't function anymore.
Yeah, and the fact that their leader had like legitimately lost his mind.
Man.
Guess what? He never ran out.
Look at the drug.
He never ran
like,
out.
have you seen him at the Olympics? He's like,
dude, grinding his teeth, cranked.
He's like
Cranked on
fucking sweating bullets, like
cranked on that. Cranked, man. You want to know an interesting thing about that too? The guy that was his personal doctor was a vet.
a veterinarian.
Yep.
Yeah.
And was just like, I don't know, man.
He was the guy
We'll give him
that-
this whole syringe of just who knows what, and he's just out there like, get out the juice, like, he's just out of his mind, man. And not to like, Hitler was terrible. No one else was responsible for what Hitler did. It's just an interesting thing. But the Pervitin, that was the name of the drug. We're all on a thing called Pervitin.
Pervitin, okay.
Well, Americans started to come in contact with German soldiers when we got into the war, right? Yep. And we started stripping their bodies and finding Pervitin. The first place we started finding it was on German pilots. So the American military, America gets introduced to methamphetamines through the German pilots. We start putting our pilots on it.
Why wouldn't you?
And then
they're fucking us up.
So let's just track this real quick, right? So we then use the same superpower that Germany is using to fight the war, and we enter the war. And how long are we in the war? Our supply lines never break.
Right.
And we're dosing our soldiers with something very similar. It is also the start of the military-industrial complex. It's the start of the industrial explosion inside the United States. It's the start of the 50s, where America would become this powerhouse of government-funded industrial takeover. You know what I mean?
Yep.
At the same time, the pharmaceutical companies that would have been making those drugs for World War II ran out of a place to sell the drug. And then ADHD is a thing. And then it's pushed through a federal schooling system. If you look at COVID now and say that the corruption with pharmaceutical companies and the government happened during COVID, you're out of your mind.
Oh, no.
It has existed since the 50s, the 60s.
Yeah.
Dude, look at have you guys ever looked into the all of the music that came, the hippie revolution music, the Doors, all of those guys, where they all came out of this one valley in California, and the house at the top of the valley was a production studio that made government not conspiracy movies, like propaganda movies for the American
Propaganda
government.
films.
Yeah, during the World War II and like into the 50s and 60s, there was this production house in I don't know what valley in California that
I've been there.
produced all of those.
Propaganda films?
Yeah, all the government propaganda
And then
films.
all of a sudden you start getting artists that are coming out.
Dude, literally, 5 miles down the road.
It's literally the same strip.
Yes, and
I've been there.
everybody. It's Jim Morrison, it's Janis Joplin.
It's literally you're driving. It's like there's that house, there's that house, there's that house,
and
there's
then
that
add
house.
to it that Jim Morrison's dad was the admiral in charge of the fleet in the Gulf of Tonkin that starts Vietnam War.
Oh shit.
Dude, it's so interconnected. It's
And what did it do? What did the hippie movement do to the anti-war push? You had a legitimate movement that had a legitimate issue that was filled with naked hippies on acid. It delegitimized the anti-war protest. And all of it came from the music scene, and all of the music scene came from a mile-long strip 2 miles away from a known government propaganda media machine.
Wow.
and then people
And some of the
latched
kids
onto
are
it.
The children of government officials? Like,
Right.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
That's some weird shit.
I think you do know.
Yeah.
That's some weird shit. I'm not trying to be Alex Jones on something.
no,
Like,
no,
that's a lot of...
It is.
It's
You
a
know,
lot
there's
of
so many
weird
coincidences.
things. Yeah.
Yeah. It goes beyond circumstance.
I almost don't believe in coincidence anymore.
No, absolutely
Yeah.
not. Do you think that the American government looked at the Nazi propaganda machine with Goebbels, and it looked at our society and didn't apply those same things?
We're still applying it.
We brought Werner von Braun over on Operation Paperclip, along with hundreds of other high-ranking Nazis, right? We brought Werner von Braun over. We make him the head of NASA. There are statues to that man throughout the country.
Right.
He revolutionizes our ability for space travel, for planes, for all the aeronautical advancements. He is a hero in American culture. During during World War II, he showed up to work every day, hand-selected 3 Jews, and hung them out front. And we knew that. And we still
made him the head of NASA.
made him this wonderful person. He led NASA.
But no, it needs to be made in America.
Yeah.
Our heroes are not what we think they are. The government is not what you think you are. And I don't understand how anyone could serve inside of the government. I don't know anybody that was a combat vet. Like, you might have been a mechanic or something, like, not to talk poorly of like the soft skill MOSs, like rogues. Fight you. Like, if you lived on a fob, you didn't go interact with the local populace. You weren't going on mission sets. You didn't see the bigger picture of what we were doing because we weren't doing anything. We were doing absolutely nothing. The government was completely unfunctional for 20 years, and everyone that left the fob saw it.
Yeah.
That's why all of us came home and stared doing this stuff, because we were like, hey, man,
It's not what you think it is.
it's not what you think it is. These
We're
guys
going
are
to tell you
not.
the fucking truth.
Yeah.
These guys are not on our team. These guys are not on our team. Look at Chuck Schumer right now. Chuck Schumer has opened an active government-funded congressional oversight committee to look into Zen as a company because they're dangerously addictive to kids.
Patches.
Who is Zen's biggest named personality that's advertising for them? Tucker Carlson.
Oh shit, you're right. Yeah.
Tucker Carlson leaves Fox, and he got caught with a Zen thing, like a candid camera got caught with a Zen thing, like a picture of him taking one out. So he leaned into it. Must have gotten $1 gajillion in ad revenue from Zen. They flew this massive helicopter,
the largest Zen.
Yeah, it was a massive Zen thing into his property. They had to fly it in with a helicopter. So he is publicly endorsing Zen. He talks about it on his stuff all the time.
Right.
He's the biggest, most influential anti-government human in the United States right now. And Chuck Schumer is going to investigate the company that's paying him to do it. Shut the fuck up, man. That's high school. That's high school.
Yeah, you're
an
exactly
angry cheerleader.
Right.
And I'm supposed to listen to people like Chuck Schumer dictate how I live my life, how I manage my family, the rules that my child will play by, the rules that I do business by.
If we don't think that for a second that the government is one giant block of self-serving.
Where did the mob go?
Yeah, where did the fucking mafia go?
We arrested a handful of people, maybe 100 people go to jail in the 80s.
Yeah, we took down 3 crime bosses.
But what was the mob doing? The mob built Vegas, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
This is a weird thing.
Yeah.
This is a weird thing that we are in.
They just got into the corporate world.
I've been in Capone's speakeasies in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's open yet. It was going to be called Madame, I forget.
Tussauds?
Madame Tussauds, yeah. So I went in there before they were reopening it. It's a Houston's Brother bar, but learning all the stories behind Al Capone's speakeasies. There's one in a laundromat underneath the laundromat because it would hide the sounds from underneath. Dude,
very smart.
Dude, fucking.
But where did those guys go?
Right,
man?
where did they go?
They made enough money to start paying for mayors, to start buying senators, and then they got into the corporate world when they opened Vegas.
Right.
And then they could disappear in the 80s. They just disappear. in the 80s.
We don't hear of them anymore. Where are the mob bosses? That's
a really good point.
Where'd they go?
Yeah.
Where'd they go?
They own
Right.
Fortune 500
They own
companies.
Fortune 500 companies. They are the investment groups. They you can be whatever. They don't have to be Italian anymore, right? Because it doesn't necessarily. I'm not saying the mob boss from the 1960s is now calling shots at Coca-Cola.
Yeah, right.
I am.
That money, that influence, that concept, the way that they did business, it just got in the corporate world, and they don't have to come to your house and shoot you in the back of the face anymore.
No.
They'll just destroy you through ESG, through DEI. They'll make sure that you can't get a loan from a bank. They'll control your ability to open and to be in a free economy.
Via the financial market, yeah.
Via the economic war machine. And they learned that from the federal government. The federal government's been using the economic war machine since the 1800s.
Right.
I'm poor and you need me.
Yeah, you need me.
You need me.
Yeah.
You need me.
Yeah.
Look at the top 3 major investment groups in the country. BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street.
Yep.
Bought 40% of the single-family homes on the market last year.
Yep.
So at the same time that no one can buy a house because no one is leaving their house because no one can afford to buy a house, and the circle just continues to make it even
Because
harder.
they're giving way over asking price, and it's driving
30%
market
of the
up.
market is bought cash in hand through these investment groups to make it just artificially makes the situation even worse. Right. And then you listen to the WEF openly say, Charles Schwab openly released a video at the beginning of the year last year that you will own nothing and be happy about it.
Yes.
Well, they buy all the houses away from you and rent them back to you.
Yep.
What do they have to say to make the average person realize that you are being fucked? There is an active system being established that has enough money to control your life. And
Dude, yeah.
all that we have to do collectively as people is remember that the grasshoppers don't have any control.
If they realize they outnumber us,
You know what I mean?
we are done.
Would you fight Charles Schwab? I'll drag that dude by his fucking teeth somewhere, man.
Dude.
He's just some fat old German business guy. He's nobody. He's absolutely nothing. Half the marketing directors and half the big influential crowd at shows like SHOT Show.
I saw something. I can't.
I'll drag you around by your throat.
Right. I saw something. I can't confirm it, but I saw a couple photos that were pretty fucking convincing. That were showing Charles Schwab is like the son or grandson of like a high-ranking Nazi general. I can't confirm it, but yeah.
So I wanted to like tell my whole backstory of like selling drugs and blowing my life apart when I was younger and then getting in the military and all that stuff. But like this is my favorite conversation. So So I love tracking breadcrumbs.
Yes.
Right?
No, it's the best.
It's
the best.
I solve,
you follow the money.
I really do like the way you take the genesis of a thing and then weave that into where we're at today.
Bring it back.
Yeah.
So, because the way that I solve problems in my head is I say like I started this and I knew the end goal that I wanted to accomplish, right? It's just like mission planning in the military.
Yeah.
The end of my mission is my end goal. That is the end goal that I want to accomplish. I then back plan off of that all the way to where I am sitting right now, right? I need to have a plan minute by minute, action by action, step by step, contingencies, risk mitigation,
Right.
how I'm going to solve potential things that come up. I need to plan all of it off of my end goal, right?
Sure.
Yes.
So if I'm gonna trace the breadcrumbs back through history, I'm just gonna apply the same thing. I now am at my end goal. I want to look back. How did we get here? What were all the steps that led me to here, right? If you look at the World Economic Forum, you look at Charles Schwab, he is a German businessman,
Yes.
right? So there's this massive influence of German money
In the
globally,
world economy,
right?
yeah.
Look into Ukraine. World War II ends, and we have all of these high-ranking Nazis that go through the Nuremberg trials. They're all found guilty, but they just walk out of the door the same day.
Yep, they disappear.
Yeah. The lawyer, who I cannot remember for the life of me, he was a really, really short little Jewish guy to stand on soapboxes to yell at these guys in the Nuremberg trials. He was no one. He was this tiny little army lawyer that saw the concentration camps and fought to be the one that would prosecute these guys, and they gave him the opportunity to do it. And now he's one of the most influential lawyers ever to exist. He is still alive today, still hunting Nazis. The dude,
That's savage.
it's Ben Frank or something like that. He's like one of my wife is gonna be so mad at me that I don't know his name. He's like one of my favorite people in history ever, because he's just this small-statured guy that just took on the world, man.
That's fucking rad.
So you all these Nazis get convicted, and we don't know what to do with them. The German populace can't keep them.
So
right?
we send them off to
They can't get involved. Nope. Dude, we send them to northern Ukraine.
Yeah.
Huh.
Look at the Azov Battalion.
I'll see if I can find it.
I didn't know that's where they went.
Yeah, I'll see if I can find it.
Look
I've
at
got a
the
picture of some Ukrainian guys holding up a Ukrainian flag and a Nazi flag right next to each
Yes,
other.
so that's the Azov Battalion.
Yep.
The Azov Battalion they are legitimate Nazis. The liberal argument in the country has been like, hey, you're arming actual Nazis, guys. They're not wrong. They're not wrong. Those are the direct grandchildren descendants of some of the highest ranking Nazi officials that carried out the worst atrocities that human beings have ever fucking seen. Do you know how influential my grandfather was in my life?
Dude,
influential their
imagine them.
grandfathers.
Yeah.
So
These guys who are so convicted to a single ideal
Yes.
that they're willing
Yes.
to just literally get rid of humanity.
yes. So okay.
You don't
So
think that was somewhere passed on in the gene pool along the way while they were raising their children?
exactly.
It absolutely
So
was.
breadcrumbs, right? Breadcrumbs. So we know that there's active. I mean, there are the descendants of these guys that are fighting in these units. They are actively carrying the swastika. We are funding them. Why the fuck would we do that?
Right.
When Russia invaded Ukraine, the statements that Putin put out publicly to the world about why he was doing it never aired on American media anyway. He openly said that the United States was developing biological weapons of mass destruction inside of Ukraine, and his intent was to go to the laboratories and shut them down. Now look at the Russian offensive when they invaded Ukraine.
Where'd they go?
Went to places like Chernobyl. No one on planet Earth would ever go to Chernobyl. If you wanted to hide a biochemical lab, where would you fucking hide it?
Hide it where
Antarctica
nobody's
or
going.
Chernobyl?
Both.
So they go, and one of the most contested areas of the war is around Chernobyl. Why would anyone fight over that land?
No one wants
And
it.
as soon as Russia gets it, they hold it for like 3 weeks and then leave. Right? So I'm not saying that we were doing it. I'm not saying that Putin was right.
Right.
But man, his actions and his words,
Right.
They
they
kind of
certainly
align up.
align with each other.
But I mean that
Then we know that we have major political officials. We know that we have the Biden family. We know that we have people like Chuck Schumer. We know that we have people like Mitch McConnell that are running money through Ukraine.
Right.
They have been caught red-handed.
Red-handed.
they brag about it.
Giving taxpayer money to the government of Ukraine and then getting that money back through private companies in Ukraine. We know that they are washing money through there. So we have the government gets heavily infiltrated during Operation Paperclip after World War II by all of these high-ranking Nazis, guys like Werner von Braun. And our direct business dealings as a government are with the same northeastern parts of Ukraine and all these businesses that are also the descendants of all these German people. There's a lot of coincidences with all of that.
That's not coincidence. That's
It doesn't seem
direct
good, man.
correlation.
I'm not saying our government is run by Nazis.
Right,
I'm
no.
not trying to be Alex Jones with stuff, but like at a certain point, man, like there is a like-minded philosophy that is being shared by the global elites, and those global elites were made at the fall of World War II. When World War II ended, it established the next power structure that would run for 100 years.
Yeah.
Yep.
We are in a time of shuffling that power structure.
Yeah.
And dude, all
And
that
that's
has
why
to
everything is so fucked up right now.
Yeah, all that has to happen is the ants have to remember that the grasshoppers don't.
They don't run the shit. Yeah.
It's us. It's us, man. And YouTube can demonetize us. YouTube can take the videos down. It doesn't matter, man. You can take my YouTube down and I will put it out through 50 other YouTube channels that I'm going to public speak somewhere and I'll sell out a fucking arena.
This is 100% going to be the most pivotal time that I think we've seen in recent history as far as change coming in.
Absolutely.
Indeed, because of the platform that we do have, that we should be leveraging to reach all of the other millions of Americans to kind of open their eyes. Because there are things that you have said since we've been sitting on this couch that I was completely unaware of. That it's even opening my eyes. And I can't imagine people watching that maybe don't like dig in as deep as even I do that are like, holy shit, let me look into this. Let me see what kind of coincidences aren't just
how many coincidences are there? Because I could do this for 8 hours, man.
Dude, there's so many fucking coincidences.
It's not just the political shuffling that you can see. It's look at the technological. We are going from a time where coal burning industrial manufacturing was the name of the game, and we are leaving that. We are moving into a new technological revolution. The entire chessboard that humans exist on is being shuffled right now. That's right. You have the existence of AI coming out into the world. You have places like China. If you jaywalk in China, the AI can pick you up off of your stride.
Yep.
You will be hit with a ticket, and it will be immediately pulled from your bank account on your phone. You just get a text message from the government saying, "Hey, we charged you $17 for a jaywalk."
Yep.
And -2 points on your social credit score.
Yep. Social credit score, that thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you know who's making all of those AI machines? Meta. You're telling me that's not coming here? You're telling me that the face recognition on my phone, every time I open my Apple phone, you're telling me that it's completely unrelated.
Yeah, that's there.
It's not unrelated.
No.
It's already there.
No, it's already
Yeah,
there.
it's on the fucking list.
I love this filter. This is great. I love it. Look at this funny face filter. It changes my face.
Yeah. Let me do all the circles.
Yeah,
I'll
let me
the
do
face
all
recognition on my
the
iPhone.
circles. Why does it look like trapezoids are all over my face?
Talk to like an electrical designer guy that understands how cell phones and stuff work, and the first thing they'll say is don't have one.
Yep.
Why do the people that have Facebook, why do they openly say their kids aren't allowed to have any of this?
Right.
Right.
They know full well what the danger is. You know, every time you pick your iPhone up and the screen illuminates, it takes a picture both ways?
Yeah.
Every single time.
Yep.
And then it's something like, don't quote me, every 20 minutes, it uploads all of that information to some database that you have no access to. You will never be able to court petition any of those things. How many times
Because
have you
you've already
said
signed that shit away the second you got the phone.
Yeah, I agree. Please let me send a fucking text message. I broke my phone yesterday. I'm trying to get a hold of this guy. I agree. You know? Like, how many times have you just smashed a phone by accident and no one has time to read any of that shit.
No. The end user agreement? Absolutely not.
And
it's such legal jargon that goes on for 80,000 pages.
Which even if you sat and read it, you're still going to agree with it.
Yeah. What are you going to do?
I have to exist.
Yeah, I have to exist. I cannot have it.
It's the same thing with the Chinese manufacturing. Stop screaming about the fact that this thing was made in China. I have to exist.
Yeah.
Right.
Now that I have the thing, what are we going to do with the thing?
What are we going to do with
the thing?
Yeah, what do we do with the thing? Otherwise, get fucking naked, burn your fucking house down, give your car away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I'm here
Go
for that
find
also,
a field and sit in it.
Right.
Dude,
Do that.
do you know who Alexander Supertramp is?
Yes. Yeah.
Christian McCandless?
Yeah.
That's my hero, man.
Dude.
Could have been better prepared for that adventure, But like just burned his passport, burned all his money, disappeared into the Alaska wilderness and said, I don't want to be a part of society.
Yeah. Fucking love it.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And he hitchhiked from the East Coast. He went to, I can't remember, I think he graduated from like a military
You know who else did
academy
that?
or something.
Ted Kaczynski.
Hey, dude, I'm gonna get your YouTube video pulled down real quick. You ever read the Unabomber's Manifesto?
I haven't read the Manifesto.
Read it, and you'll never agree with anything more in your fucking life.
I watched multiple documentaries on him, his beliefs, what he stood for, and why he did what he did. And
you're like,
I don't choose.
I don't like the way
and
you went about this, but man, I agree with what you were saying.
Right. So
Yeah.
I get that.
You just kind of sit there and you're like,
Well, I haven't read the actual Manifesto, so
I'm
inside-
uncomfortable with the fact that I like that.
yeah.
in the
Why
in
is
the
this?
documentaries they actually read? I don't know if the entire manifesto was ultimately read.
It was so hot.
You gotta be a bitch like me and put a little cream in it, dude.
Hey, I'm so glad I'm here with you guys.
Dude, me too, man.
That's the best trip, man.
That's fucking rad. They would, I believe they were reading the manifesto throughout the documentary, and it was kind of, the whole point of it was like his account of why he was doing the things that he was doing and where he was. And ultimately, the guy was actually brilliant. Like this brilliant fucking mathematician who saw things that nobody else could see in a way that nobody else could see it. And he said, this is the way, this is what's happening. Don't you all see it? I'm fucking driving me crazy.
Yeah.
And because he didn't have an outlet, because he didn't have a YouTube and a Twitter and a collective group of people that could possibly bond with and understand the way he felt.
But
and at that
fucking crazy.
he should have wrote a book rather than making pipe bombs.
Yeah.
Like
Rather
it was.
than making bombs, his outlet was the wrong outlet. We
Right.
can all agree on that,
Yes.
right? That is
But
the
it's-
absolute wrong outlet.
It's breadcrumbs, right? You're looking at if you're looking through our society and you're looking at breadcrumbs, how many times have something like that happened? Where someone identified like they were able to see past their timeline. They were able to see those breadcrumbs in the future and realize that there was a legitimate threat to our way of life. The beginning of BLM, I want to say it would have been like 2019-ish, something like that. There was a shooter in also, I want to say Dallas. Don't quote me on it. Dave Chappelle has a great stand-up piece where he talks about this because the guy was a cop from, I think he was from Dallas. His manifesto that he put on social media before he did it was essentially the police departments are not the friend of the people. They are a warring entity that we should remove. And he was a cop seeing those breadcrumbs of where the system was going and decided to shoot fellow cops, decided to murder fellow cops. He was going to start the cleansing of the machine.
Viva la revolution.
Yeah. So all of his actions, awful.
Right.
The conclusion that he came to watching the world was completely right. It was a breadcrumb. It was a little, we were talking about claps to remember to edit things.
Right.
It was a clap along a trail. And where we're at now, you had one clap here, you had Ted Kaczynski here. You even had things like Charles Manson, right? Like you had these, if you listen to the things that they say, the philosophical concept that they saw the world by was fairly fundamentally good.
Right.
It just got applied in this super weird way.
Yeah, because they took it too far. They internalized it and they said, I'm going to be the one that's going to make this difference. And the way I'm going to do it is via violence. And it's like, whoa.
They were just,
This is why we need friends.
right. You need homies to go.
you need a wife.
Yeah, you need a wife.
You need a wife to be like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
There it is. There it is.
But I'm saying like I'm not trying to endorse any of those guys.
No.
But I'm saying like if you're looking back through our history, if we have sound bites of all those claps that are just exploding now, where there's tons of people saying like, what's going on? Why did no one go into the school at Uvalde? Why the fuck are fire departments not going inside? Like what happened on 9/11? Like you're seeing people start to look.
Yeah.
through
Why
the
did
veil.
Building 7 all of a sudden just collapse?
Fuck. What happened at the Pentagon?
Why did it free fall?
Yeah. Where's the wings at the Pentagon, bro?
Why did $3 trillion or $3 billion? What $3 trillion worth of expenses just all of a sudden disappear?
First
Talking
time
about the collapse of Building 7
on the news.
Yeah.
The collapse of
And it's in the background.
On the news. Yeah, I don't have to believe that that Bush built drone planes and flew them in so that he could make oil money. I don't have to believe the conspiracy theory. Explain to me why you had a news reporter report that building had come down with the building behind her on camera. What was that, man? Because that's not an internet thing. I was alive when it happened. I watched that shit.
Yeah.
You know, like it's not like.
No, just explain to me free fall. That's it.
Dude,
Just knock down a Jenga tower.
Yeah.
Like in the simplest form.
Oh, yeah.
Just fucking clap out the middle row of a Jenga tower.
Oh, yeah.
Watch the top hit the rest of the structure and you won't see it just go.
yeah.
Those are little wooden blocks and we can figure that out.
Explain to me how much footage have you seen of Pearl Harbor? You know?
It was
Michael
a great
Bay
film.
or- I'm just fucking.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
There's hundreds of hours
Yeah.
of
Documentary.
documented footage
Yeah.
of that. It happened out of absolutely nowhere in a time where there was no technology.
That's a good point.
And there's hundreds of hours.
There is a fuck ton, like when you watch like World War II colorized and shit,
Yeah.
on, like Netflix.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm thinking,
Who the fuck on Honolulu was like, you know what I need to do?
I need to fucking record
I need to
this.
go get my
the
camera.
sky right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So out of
this
every
random
100
day
people, there
on
was
December
half
7th.
of a person that had a camera that filmed that day, and there were still hundreds of hours of
And
footage.
cameras weren't
Right.
And cameras were not like readily accessible in
The
that day and age.
entire explosion at the Pentagon had 3 frames released from a security camera on a booth, like a let you into the Pentagon driveway booth.
Yeah.
3 frames of boop, boop, boop. That's all the federal government has ever released of what hit the Pentagon. And there's
You're talking about
thousands
the
of
most
hours
highly
of footage
secured-
of the towers.
the most highly secure building in
There's
the entire
thousands of
world,
hours
where
of
you couldn't. couldn't.
Oh, and we're going to talk about the fact that out of the 5 sides of it, right? Oh, no, it's hard. It's Pentagon. It's fine.
it's fine.
The one side that gets hit is the only side that had recently been refurbished to withstand a Sidewinder missile impact. That's some weird coincidences, man. Like, someone just owes me an explanation. As the American voter, I want an explanation. I want more than 3 frames.
Show
me the plane.
I'm not too much of a retard, but listen.
It'd be a great name for just really go ahead.
I was gonna say.
I hope I'm not retarded. That's the name of the podcast.
I want more than 3 frames.
Don't quote me. I'm retarded.
Dude, that's such a good podcast name.
be
Don't
taken
quote
down
me,
on
I'm
YouTube
retarded.
immediately, man.
But Pentagon, Pentagram, just.
Dude, okay, no, you know what? So I live like 2 hours south of DC, and it's one of my favorite cities on planet Earth because I like politics, I like history. It's all the museums, like I love it.
Yeah.
You're a psyop.
When you drive up to DC, have you ever seen the NSA building?
No, I've never been there.
It's one of the most glaring, like, funny things to me when you drive up there. The NSA building is a giant black mirrored box.
The irony is hilarious.
We can see you.
You can't see us.
Yeah, and there's no irony to it. They built it, and some guy sat down with a complete
architect,
blank piece of paper
yes.
and was like, "What do I want this to look like?" And he
What?
was like, "I want it to be a black box."
What's the most
Well-
fundamental representation of who we are?
Well,
Can't
a black
see
box.
Me, don't know I'm there, but I can see you.
What's it?
Here's me looking at you. That's why we're mirrored.
Right.
How many
There's a
people in
lot
the
of
United
symbolism
States
in that.
know what the director of intelligence is? How many people in the United States know that the CIA, the NSA, the FBI, and Department of Homeland Security all report to one fucking person?
Right.
How many people know that? And how many people know that that one person has publicly said they view the incoming administrations as a threat? There is no more powerful person on planet Earth than the man that runs those 4 agencies, and they openly say from that office that we do not work with the administration in power. How do you
Can
need
I
to
ask a
prove the
question
deep
because
state?
I don't know this. Who was that individual appointed by?
I don't think he's appointed by anybody. I think it's a political appointment within the agencies. I think you work your way into it. I don't.
Okay, got it.
I could be completely wrong. It might be an appointee
It's not-
from the
it's not
administration, but I really don't think so.
What? I can't remember what it's called.
But I mean, at least why is there not open air Senate oversight of that position? Why is that position should not be one person? That position should be the entirety of the Senate and Congress.
Right.
And there should not be oversight committees that only some people inside of Congress and Senate have access to. If you have the ability to go into the halls of Congress,
Yes.
you have the highest security clearance in the country.
Exactly.
Because you are the representative of the people. There is no secret going on in the government that you don't know about.
That's exactly where I was going with that. And
Yep.
if you are the representative of the people, then the people should be given the opportunity to have a say in who that individual is that is running those
Yes,
agencies.
and it should not be the president of the United States that has the ability to declassify things. It should be anyone that is appointed in an elected office. You have the highest security clearance. You have access to absolutely everything, and at any given moment, you personally can choose to declassify this thing.
Right.
You personally can choose to put it on Twitter and tell the American public what the fuck we're doing.
Right.
Why did the Department of Defense fail its 5th or 6th internal audit in a row?
Right.
Yeah.
It's trillions of dollars, and it means absolutely nothing, dude.
No, they're like they just go,
Yeah.
oops.
I've run an LLC for a year, and I'm preparing to do my taxes for the first time, and I'm terrified.
Yeah.
I have made.
Should be.
I have had no money in or out, and I'm terrified to file my taxes wrong because I'm who they're going to come after. But the DOD just operates with complete impunity.
They're the worst fucking offender.
Yes, complete impunity
The worst offender. And when they need more, they fucking print it.
to get more.
I
Look at the markup on stuff. Why is the Devaluing Defense rifle what it is? It's
Right.
because that's what they can sell it to DOD at.
Right.
It's not because it's good. It's not. I mean, they're not bad.
not bad. No.
It's just that price point got set by the DOD because they're spending our money, so they don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's taxpayers' dollars.
They'll
yeah.
put
They don't
whatever
give
the
a
fuck
fuck.
they
Yeah.
want to it.
Go on.
If they don't have it, they'll fucking print it.
Yeah.
And by printing it, they devalue the fucking dollar. So the further they devalue the dollar, the less money we actually have.
Mm-hmm.
We may have the $1 million in the bank, but now that million is worth 500, and the less and less and less that becomes, the more reliant we are on the government. The more reliant we are.
Talk
on
about the
government.
$100 philosophy with the banking system. How you put $100 in the bank and what that $100 turns into through the banking system. It's like
Right.
$1 million or something. Like, dude, if you also like if you were to go buy a Honda, I don't know, like a little 250 generator, just keep the lights on in your house. You would go buy that at I don't know $500, whatever one of those things costs. Spray paint it tan and call it the tactical recon generator. You could sell it for $3,000.
Right.
Yeah, is anything?
It's the exact same
tactical
fucking
community-
thing.
Yeah, it's the gun.
Yeah.
It's the firearm tax.
When I
It's
was-
the
when I
tactical
was-
community tax is really what it is.
Yes,
right? Yeah.
dude. When I worked in the fire department, all of the rescue tools, like the chainsaws,
It would need to be called the TRGO3 or
Yes,
something.
yeah. some stupid shit like that.
It's some acronyms
Yeah.
to it.
all of the fire department I worked for, we ran a lot of Husqvarna, like K12 saws.
Yeah.
Things. Just it's all it is a chainsaw, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's the rescue one. It's
Oh.
4 times what a Husqvarna K12 would cost you to go to Ace Hardware and buy.
But it's the rescue.
But it's rescue. They don't even change the color, bro. They just sell it with the name rescue in the SKU.
box. Yeah.
Yeah. The SKU is just a different SKU for the exact same thing.
Give
Yeah.
me cheese, baby.
It's 4 times more.
Yeah.
But you know what I respect about that is because companies, but companies have that ability to where if they did sign a DOD contract, they can release the exact same thing to the American public with a different name.
Yeah.
At a fifth of the cost.
No, wait. This is a great segue into something that we have been going back and forth about. When the DOD blesses a piece of equipment and they are raped by the company that made that equipment on the price point because that company showed literally anything that said this is the better thing. This is the tactical recon rescue version. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once the DOD has endorsed it, then you have people that go out into the world and run their own T-Rex Arms channels that say if it isn't DOD endorsed, you can't use it, while preaching that they are the patriot resistance.
Yeah, I know.
You're too stupid to see what the DOD is doing.
I love that.
All of it is made by China,
Like in
and then you
one
just slap
sentence,
rescue
you just
on it.
wrapped up how fucked up some people in the industry are.
His entire argument is from a place of imagination, Bill, dude. He watched a 1990s action movie. He watched YouTube videos off Funker 530 and decided that he knows the system.
Yeah. He's like, I got
Christian
this.
Craighead is getting some of the biggest publicity around right now because of his Sean Ryan interview.
Right.
It's official. Everybody knows that he's Obi-Wan Nairobi, right? Like,
Yeah, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
there's pictures of him. My entire feed coming up to SHOT Show, which is pictures of Christian Craighead.
Yeah.
He's got a Romeo 4T Chinese-made fucking SIG op.
Yeah, he had a Romeo 4T.
Go tell that guy he means that.
So it
type
is
shit.
1000% the Indian and not the arrow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Give me a pack of savages that will live off of rice, wear flip-flops, and fight with a 100-year-old AK that we lube up with motor oil, and I want those guys. I want the guys.
I'm halfway there.
Yeah, I want those guys, man.
Yeah.
Your Daniel defense rifle and your double-stitched
nothing.
fucking cat tourniquet, it means absolutely nothing if you don't know how to use it and if you're not willing to go the distance. And to be willing to go the distance, you have to have an end goal. What's the end goal?
What's your end goal?
What's your end goal?
And if
I want to build families. I want to build dangerous dads. I want to build men that will stand a line. Is that what they're doing?
yeah, there's no.
They're just
there's
buying
no,
new
there's
Tundras.
there's-
I
there's
gotta have a new
no-
roof rack on my fucking Tundra.
right. So it's not an
you
end goal.
talking
Everybody's
about
got an
fucking
end
with that?
goal.
Yeah, all of them. The fucking Tundra
Dude,
boy,
yeah.
the Toyota Tacoma takeover of everything,
Dude.
bro. If the world gets weird, I'm stealing Hyundais, man.
Dude.
I'll shove my USB stick in any Hyundai that's been made in the last 15 years. You guys know this, right?
Huh.
Shut the fuck up. You guys don't know about
No.
Hyundais? Dude, it's
Tell
the
me.
best end of the world shit ever.
I'm so ready for this. I am so excited.
So there's a mechanism inside your ignition system that runs through your steering column, right?
Correct, yeah.
The way that ignition system plugs itself together is the exact same size, shape, dimensions of a USB stick. When you turn your key, there's all these electronic things
Right.
inside of that hub that activate off of your key, or there's drop lock pins that pick up your key that allow it to actually turn that lock, right?
Right. Totally.
If you trace that thing down past the firewall, down into the engine bay, into an area that you just can't get to, all of that stuff comes together in this tiny little rectangle thing that physically turns over, sends power to the starter, and your car starts. Okay? Hyundai, for like 15, 20 years, put that little thing that's exactly the same size as a USB drive about 3 inches
From
behind
the steering wheel.
You sit down in any Hyundai that's been
You
made.
can just crank that bitch
Hyundais
off
and
and
Kias. Hyundais and Kias. You grab the plastic shit with your hand, rip it off, shove a screwdriver into where
And
the
go,
ignition
"Yeah."
is, pop the ignition off, and take your iPhone charger, shove it in, start the car, drive the fuck away. They are the number one most stolen car ever in American history, and there is entire dude, everyone at home, hashtag Hyundai boys.
Hashtag Hyundai.
Kia boys.
Dude,
They are
I'm
being
going to get that
stolen.
tattooed on my neck.
They're being stolen.
Hashtag Hyundai
No,
boys.
that's already a thing.
Oh,
They're being
shit.
stolen in every major city. The internet is full of videos of these like 15-year-old kids stealing these things and just whipping them around town, crashing them, and running
Oh
away.
my God.
So if the world ends,
I haven't seen.
Get a fucking Hyundai.
get a fucking Hyundai, bro.
Oh, dude, I need to like.
If you're in an active shooting event, right, and you've got 5 people that need to go to the hospital, right
and you're
now,
like, fucking Hyundai. Crank that bitch off and yeah.
yeah,
That's what's up.
Smash the window, hop inside, pop the thing off, drive away with your cell phone. charger.
You're out in 5 minutes.
You're out in 5 minutes, bro.
Yeah.
Hyundais.
Yeah.
But
Tell me more about your Toyota Tundra, your escape plan, your generators, all your ammo stores. Tell me more about all that stuff. Because you know how a Delta Force guy gets around? He knows how to fucking steal a Hyundai, bro.
yeah.
Like,
That's really what it boils down to.
Yeah.
that's all it boils down to.
Or he knows how to take yours away from you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He knows how to drop his shoulders, lean his head down, switch his hat, and change coats real quick, and now
Yeah.
he's gone in the crowd.
Yep.
That's the shit that matters.
Yeah.
Right.
Can Could you get yourself through a checkpoint like you're going from East to West Berlin? Could you do those things?
Right.
Yeah.
If
not
we-
not in a fucking tactical Toyota Tundra.
Nope.
Fucking crack pants on. Where are you going? Just golfing.
I'm going golfing.
Yeah.
Their entire brand is built off of the concept of being a gray man, and yet, dude, I hate it so much because they had such a positive influence.
Yeah.
They had such a positive influence in the gun world. They had such a they motivated me to continue doing the things I was doing in the military. They motivated me to continue training as a civilian. They motivated me to be a dangerous dad. They had such a beautiful opportunity to be such a positive force. And he just acts like a child on the couch.
And he's just a fucking shit disturber.
Yeah,
All he does is just post random one-liner like divisive things.
Yes, he does not understand the rules of the jungle. He does not understand the rules that if you pick a fight, it's your fight to fucking handle. You are picking a fight with me, so handle it.
And he also won't say anything to anybody's face.
No. I stared him down.
It's all at the fucking
He doesn't
internet.
have anything to say to me.
So all we got to do is fucking talk about it, man. All we want to do is just.
Why does he even know who I am? He's got 1 million followers. I've got 10,000 on Instagram. I came out of absolutely nowhere in a fucking year, and you can see me in a crowd and know
You're
who
a
the fuck
fucking
I
threat,
am.
dude.
I believe,
You're a threat to the very thing that he represents.
well, correct me if I'm wrong.
Many
Like,
people represent. That is the problem. That is why when I went to your fucking Instagram and I attempted to follow you, Instagram told me that the shit that you said, be careful if you follow this guy. He's been kind of shadow banned, and the shit that he says has been verifiably false.
Yeah,
And I went through all your shit. I followed you, and then because I told you I had that kind of like crisis moment where like,
Yeah, it's legit. I have the same one, man. I have guys that follow me, and I'll have a conversation with them, and I'll go to their page, and I'll be like, man, I don't know, you look like you make pipe bombs.
Yeah.
I can't, like,
And I went
you
through
look
it,
like
it
you
was
have a
he was
large
like-
ball bearing storage, and you're
And
scaring
here's what
me.
you were saying. You were like, love your family, train, be prepared,
Be
have a
dangerous.
plan.
Be a good human.
yeah.
I was like,
Women matter because they make the next generation,
Yeah.
and they don't have penises.
yeah.
Get
out of the room.
Get out of here.
Fuck out of here.
Dude.
Like, this isn't none of this. This is all false. Yeah. Yeah. So you're a threat to the very thing that this individual represents. And when
Wait, are we gonna do the individual thing? I'll play shadow games, but I would much rather just be like Lucas, bro. Like for real.
Yeah.
the individual,
For real. Your job, your influence in the world, your ability could bind the entire underground of the firearms community together, and yet you have chosen to be divisive for absolutely no reason but self-gratification when you're at home reading your own comment section, taking a shit on your toilet. The only thing that you care about is how you feel today rather than making a difference and an impact, while building a platform off of the concept of building the resistance that would fix the nuclear family. And what have you done about the nuclear family? What have you done to support the nuclear family? What have you done to support the American gun owner? What are you doing? You're arguing with me. I'm no one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't want to say individual anymore. I want to call people the fuck out.
I say the same thing. We talk about this all the time.
Here.
Right? Yeah.
Make
yeah,
your
that's
decision.
fine.
Yeah.
No, yeah,
No,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
no,
There's the point
that's
where-
going in there, yeah.
Right. I completely 100% agree with you. I think it is time just to call people out on the bullshit, and myself included. There are times where
I let it go for too long, man. I was in the military for 10 years.
all the fucking time. And if I am doing something wrong, and I'm hurting the Second Amendment, the message that I am pushing is hurting the Second Amendment, I would hope that people would come out and say, you know, there's that one guy on that one thing. No, just fucking say how it is.
Yeah.
Dude, Jake from Tacticon's being a fucking idiot, and I'll be like, I'll look into it.
Right.
We should all look into it. We should all take a look in the fucking mirror and say, am I doing this?
If I said
Maybe I
something-
am. Maybe I went off too far off the path. Maybe I didn't check myself with my wife and my friends like we were talking about.
Bro, I want you to
get
come
me
to me.
off in this. Yeah.
I will fuck with you if you come to me and you're like, you are fucking up.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was
That's
gonna-
who I want in my life.
Right.
That's right. I was going to tell you this at breakfast when we were talking about all the fucking big dudes that were on the fucking top floor, right? All those
Empty
guys
boots.
with DOD contracts
Right.
with
Empty
empty
boots.
fucking boots
Right.
at SHOT Show. And where are all the people? They're down in the
Down
fucking
in the-
basement with
yeah.
the guys that are actually supporting the Second Amendment.
Goon Squad, man.
And I
The
said,
Goon Squad.
dude, please check me. I've already made it. You know, I've said to myself out loud, I will never be that.
Yeah.
But it is now up to me to do that. And it is hopefully
Because you're
up
gonna
to
get
my
something
friends
dangled,
to
man.
tell me.
Dude, yeah,
Is it
that-
corruptible? Is
yeah.
it a corruptible amount of check?
Right. So when I
Right.
come to you and I'm like, hey, man, we're going to be on, our booth is 77 something something. You'll be like, hey, man.
You're going to say,
told me.
what the fuck did you just say to me?
It's like,
No, but that's where you
not the
should land.
4,000 booths in the basement, dude. You
The
know,
shuffle
like,
should
it's-
happen that when you walk into SHOT Show, that two-story, $5 million booth should be people that believe in America.
It should be.
Right.
It should not be people that have those booths solely because it's my money.
Right.
My money, taxpayer money, paid for you to have a private meeting spot on top of your booth at SHOT Show while you publicly say that you don't want me to own the product that you make. You're at a convention For me.
For me.
This is SHOT Show. This is the civilian convention. You're not at AUSA.
Yeah.
That is a government convention.
I'm supposed to
You are at
line up
SHOT
and get
Show.
excited because
This
you're
is
giving
for-
away a gun, you're giving away a backpack. Fuck yourself, man. I'll make my own shit.
You're absolutely fucking right, dude. This is the convention
I'm
for
fired
Yeah,
up.
we're
I'm
fired
so
out there.
I'm gonna do this the whole time. Make lots of decisions.
Just so you guys know what we're doing. Like, if you see us clap and it doesn't get edited, that's that soundbite that we're like, should we cut
Should we
that
leave
out?
this in?
Yeah.
And then when you see the claps, oh, they didn't listen.
No, I'm leaving.
that was the time
I'm
where
leaving
we
it in.
question ourselves. Should
No,
we
but
edit
dude, it's so fucking true. And jumping on that thing, Lucas, I'll look right at you. We clowned on you, dog.
Yeah.
This is a dog eat dog world. If you can't take a little shit, don't give your shit. You've been giving out shit plenty of fucking years. We made some jokes, and then you go on the internet and you fucking lie.
Well,
come to my
literally
fucking
telling
face
the
and
entire
talk to me,
customer
dude.
base with the type of influence you have in the industry that these guys need to be out of business.
You
So
said-
what we're doing.
What's wrong? Okay.
Yeah, why are you at all the other fucking floors talking all this shit online?
You'll
You have access. We were standing at the booth the entire fucking week. Today is the only day that we haven't fucking been there.
It's a GPS app that'll bring you to me.
Yeah. You could come find us. You could tell us all of your fucking problems with us. You could say we're garbage. You could test our tourniquets.
Tell me
They're
that
right
you're
fucking
up
there.
so I can fix myself.
Yes.
Right. And I will.
But
here's the deal.
iron sharpens iron. Do you not believe in that, dude?
We can actually. I would
made of
and
iron.
I would
Made of fucking
It's
pewter.
been sharpened by
Yeah.
anything, man. It's the rules of the jungle.
Yeah.
It's the shit I was talking about, like prison rules. If you're in a pod in prison, right? And me and you are playing spades, right? And you cheat me. I have a decision to make, right? If I personally
Decision.
if you've cheated me, right? And you're a different race, because that's how the cars work inside your penal institution, right? You're in your race. It is what it is.
It is what it is. Yeah.
If I have an issue with you, if I say anything at all, if I say you cheated me, the entire race that you belong to, the worst people in that race are going to come to you. They are going to give you a shank and say, you started the war, you handle it.
Right.
The criminals in our society believe in personal responsibility more than anyone leading the society.
Yeah.
And what are they criminals for?
When somebody gets up-
capitalism, they're selling the same drug that we're giving to our kids. Where's the line that we draw in the sand
Right.
of what a criminal is? Oh, they murdered their rival company.
I've
What,
never-
what are we doing?
They shot a reporter twice in the back of the head. Wait.
Yeah, not to justify criminals, but like let's
No,
look
not
at
at all.
the
But I
moral
have men,
codes.
I have met men that have gotten out of prison that were reformed not by the institution itself.
Better
not
stand-up
by-
guy than most people you know.
Yeah,
But
because
by the
they have
people
to-
they met in
they've
prison.
got standards,
Yes.
right? Call
I
them
am
up, see what
responsible for
happens.
my actions, and if I don't handle it, it's only my problem.
Not
It's
to mention,
only
there's
my
a fucking
problem.
respect issue. This is my space. These are my things. Don't touch it, and I won't touch yours.
You treat other people with the same amount of respect that you want to be treated with, because that dude might stab you in the throat.
And
Yes.
you are giving
We've
them
lost
your-
that in society, and that's why we're plummeting into an absolute shitstorm.
And we
It's
live-
because you can say stuff on the internet and not get punched in the
not get
fucking
fucking
throat.
punched in the mouth.
Yeah.
Dude, how many
Bring
times
back
did we?
bullying, man. Bring back bullying. Because
when I
when you
said-
got bullied in school, you would stand up for yourself and you'd punch the bully.
Yeah.
Both of you learned the
yeah.
most valuable lesson.
And then you
would ever
became
learn in
best
your life.
friends.
Yep. Both of you. The bully would learn that if he runs his mouth, he'll get punched in the fucking throat. And the kid that punched him learned that he can stand up for himself.
Right.
Yeah.
It's the biggest moment in your life.
Yep.
And we've completely removed it from the development of human beings.
It's nerfed.
And then when we removed the bullying campaign, what happened? Active shooters, man. Overnight, active shooters. You had kids that got picked on relentlessly, that had absolutely no outlet, no one at home to talk to, no one at home to guide them in a good way. They had nothing and nowhere to go with it but the
We
internet.
have
Nobody wants to follow that
We have
breadcrumb.
talked about this before.
Yeah.
We have literally had that
look at how
almost
many of them are on
almost
SSRIs.
ideal conversation, the same conversation they were having right now about bullying. And when you take that all away and there's this pent up fucking aggression, there's nowhere else to fucking put it because you didn't get it out on the fucking on the soccer field or
Yes.
or in that park next to the fucking school.
Right.
thinking
You're
you're
gonna
a
come
girl.
back.
Yeah. And somebody starts telling you you're a girl.
Yeah, you don't let your nuts,
Or a boy.
You don't let your nuts run some testosterone through your body. You don't slam your body against another dude's body. You don't,
Or
you don't
what?
get
Or
into
you're fed
physical
sugar
altercation.
every single morning for breakfast, and you're drinking hormones through all this milk, and or not even milk, you're drinking soy milk. And
Hormones in everything.
Dude, hormones in everything.
What the fuck is the FDA doing? Everything we eat, everything we consume is poison.
have you seen
Look
their
at the other countries that like when they're like, oh,
Russia.
you can have that here. We're not allowed to have that over
have you seen their new health chart that says Lucky Charms is more healthy than butter and steak?
Dude, you know the original.
They said Kraft fucking cheese.
You gotta, everyone at home, Google
The food pyramid.
The food pyramid, the original food pyramid that you all know. Google that and look into the history of where it came from, because I can't remember it exactly, but it was a corporate media campaign.
Yeah.
And the shit's in fucking doctors' offices. You know.
Yep.
What I mean? Like, we're making it up. Why is wheat the top of that food pyramid.
And now everybody
like
has
you can eat
fucking,
these carbs,
what is it,
that's
celiac?
That's
Yeah, everyone has
Yeah,
celiac.
everybody's got fucking celiacs now, and it's all GMO. Oh shit, fuck, what happened there?
When Vladimir Putin,
How did that all of a sudden happen in like less than a fucking decade?
How does Monsanto, who made Agent Orange, now run most of our fucking agriculture?
why are artificial sweeteners originally designed as weed killers and they found out they tasted good?
Right?
Jesus.
Right?
Jesus.
Yeah. You know,
Can
I
we
saw
have this
this.
conversation about it? Like,
Fuck.
real, you know what I mean?
I know.
Like,
I saw this thing the other day. Speaking
We're
like,
flying you out every week for the podcast.
why does Vladimir Putin believe that there should be no GMOs in Russian?
Right.
In Russia.
Right.
He's banned all GMO food products in Russia while actively sending an entire generation of men to be butchered on the front line. He still cares about his people somehow. Like, Jesus.
Fuck.
Yeah, that's very true. Good parallel. Have you? There's this thing that was trending about online, and it was really interesting. Kind of, I looked into it, verified it. It's fucking funny. It's not funny. It's fucking terrifying. Really, is what it is. It's the
Well, if you don't laugh about it, you're gonna cry about it.
it's this movie schedule that is like lined up with these period of times in history. For example, like Total Recall.
Oh man, you're talking about influence through Hollywood.
Dude,
Influence through Hollywood.
it's social conditioning based off it. Hollywood has been a tool of the government to propagandize the entire United States forever.
Inception.
And
It was
there
built
will be
by
like
the government.
Yes.
And when you start watching the movie back in like 1978 or something, it'll say in 2024, like the blah blah blah. This is happening.
The corporations will rule the world.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So
They do.
we've already gone through. Right now, there was 2 movies and it showed like, hey, this has already happened. This has already happened. Can't think of all the examples right now. But what I do remember is like, I immediately went to what era are we in right now?
Yeah.
Well, one of them was Minority Report.
Pre-crime.
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 And
that movie
that's
made
what
me
we're
wonder
about to get into.
now.
We're not in it right now, but it's like that's like the
No,
next
fuck that.
evolution.
Yes, we are.
We
Yes,
are.
we are.
Well,
We are.
From
100%.
what the little chart
this
shows,
thing-
we're about to enter into pre-crime, and then the other one that we're like currently in, supposedly, is Soylent Green.
Yeah.
What's the movie? It's a Kubrick film. Soylent Green. People are eating people. That was the only. Was the movie called Soylent Green?
Maybe because it's not Clockwork. And
So
that's
they-
the only Kubrick
Clockwork
movie
Orange.
that's
The Clockwork Orange. Yeah. No, it was.
Has he read the book?
No.
Not to be that guy.
I need to.
Not to be the guy like, oh, have you read the book? The
guys in the comics
book,
sells-
Clockwork Orange, is way better than the movie. The movie is really, really good, but that whole book, like, you will learn about yourself and humanity through that book. I love it.
It's full blown government control, and as a lot of these ones are, but the only food that you got was the food that the government would give you, and the food that the government was giving you was actually other people, right? It was these people that were being like ground down into these green little pucks, and they're called Soylent Green. And like if we look at the parallel between the FBA and the GMOs and the shit that we're eating right now, and all of the things that we don't really have a choice of, well, we have a choice,
Right.
but of what we put in our body, but the things that the government's like recommending for
have a
us
choice if you can
that are
afford the
going to
choice.
fucking kill
Right.
you ultimately, like Soylent Green, we are in that kind of right now.
Yeah.
So
So it's that ridiculous video of Nicole Kidman eating bugs.
Yeah, they're trying to
Fair video from like 4 years ago.
they're trying to get rid of us eating beef and meat, and they're trying to push insects
Because
and
the
bugs.
same sustainable amount of protein that I need can be found in bugs. But my body doesn't turn a cricket into testosterone. My body turns the cholesterol in red meat into testosterone.
Correct.
You don't want people to push back against you, get rid of testosterone.
It's a
Why
weird-
did the
it is.
testosterone numbers from the 60s to now fall off of a cliff?
Yeah.
You're telling me it was unintentional?
No, it's completely
It's a lot of
intentional.
coincidences, man. It's a lot of coincidences. The same time that you biologically destroy my ability to feel like a man, you tell me that my opinions as a man are a threat to democracy or a threat to free people.
Or they're toxic.
Yeah.
A coincidence indeed, but I just draw a little parallel using an analogy
Yeah.
maybe.
And
Two
why-
cars get in an accident inside of a fucking intersection, right?
Yeah.
Is it because both cars left their house at this particular time? No, it's because they both went into that fucking intersection and just got in a fucking car accident at the same time. So if these are happening at the same time, these events are
It's not a coincidence, but it's a it's a coincidence. So there's something motivating in it.
Right.
But like if you wanted to, I'm dude, I used to do a lot of drugs when I was younger. I had to get completely clean. My mom helped me like detox at her house before I went into the military. Went in the military to change my life and stop selling drugs. I watched friends around me get shot and killed. I watched guys get major prison sentences. I understood that this was not the life I wanted to live anymore. Right. But I also put a hurting on my brain, man. Then I get into the military and I get my head rattled a few good times, not counting bar fights and other things. I'm an alcoholic for another 10 years on top of that, right? I get into the fire department. I don't have any kind of college degree. I graduated high school with a 1.8. If I can look at society and see the importance of the nuclear family, then so can someone that wants to control society. And if you wanted to control society, you would have to destroy the nuclear family. And there is no person that you need to destroy more than the biological leader of that family. The idea that for us to say that there's a war on masculinity, to say that that's a conspiracy theory, prove to me that there isn't. What has happened to men? Why was John Wayne the hero that I grew up on?
Right.
Why are all of the action movies from the 80s and 90s a man pushed too far who was willing to break the rules to do the right thing? Why did Disney make movies encouraging the ants to fight the grasshoppers? Where did that belief go? If there isn't a war on masculinity, why was it removed? Masculinity was removed from the conversation.
Right.
The only man that's valued now is a very... Look at the heads of industry, man. Look at the CEOs of all these things. Look at Bill Gates. That's a masculine man. Bill Gates 1,000 years ago. Is he Bill Gates?
No, he's
No, he got trampled by a horse.
He got
trampled by a horse. There was some guy that was 6'8",
Yeah.
rode into town with a battle axe that was bigger than Bill Gates himself, and just said,
fucking, yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Humanity built itself through masculinity, and it's not to remove women. Women
It's
are the
to
most
protect women.
fundamental, important
It's
part
to
of
protect them.
humans.
Yes, exactly.
Masculinity exists to just let them
protect it.
exist.
Yes.
My job was to make sure
Our
that a
job is to
saber-tooth...
protect that.
Yes.
This is fundamental biology.
Yes, dude. So I used to give these...
Why did you kill the clan next over? So they wouldn't kill you and your fucking wife
I used
and
to
your
give these-
kids.
I used to give these rah-rah speeches to like my privates, and it carried over into the fire department, where I would say like, you are a red meat eating man.
Yeah.
Right? Your fucking lineage, the blood that runs through your body, the fucking DNA, all of the memory of the universe is stored in human bodies. Talk to astrophysicists, guys.
Yep.
Talk about the amount of data that's stored inside of your DNA.
Oh yeah.
All of that traces itself back to a human being that would cut a fucking limb off of a tree, sharpen it, and fight a saber-toothed fucking tiger to defend his child.
Yeah.
We would not have made it here if it wasn't for masculine men who were willing to go fight something 10 times their size.
And get torn
with a
in half.
With a fucking stick, man. And you're telling me that, like, the only reason that I did that, we would take all of the men of society and go butcher them to kill a fucking saber-toothed tiger so that the women were allowed to just have children, so there would be more of us.
Yes.
Our whole point in life is to go and die. I trade my life for my family.
Right.
I spend 50 years working in a job that breaks my mind. It breaks my body. It beats me down. I trade everything that I am for the furtherment of my children, for the furtherment of my wife. The preciousness of a woman is the reason that I lay my life down on the line.
Right.
That is masculinity. And you want it gone?
Then you're gonna call it toxic?
Yes, you want that gone?
Dude.
I'm actively saying I'm less
toxic?
important.
What is toxic about that? What is
Right.
toxic about protectionism? And
Why don't we draft women to go fight the Nazis? They're not supposed to.
They're
die.
not supposed to. Man,
I'm supposed to die. I'm disposable, man.
dude.
Who would sit in a room and think that your job as a man is to fuck over women?
I don't trust a single man who doesn't want to leave his mark on history and die in battle. I don't trust any man that does not want that.
Dude, I'm telling you, I have watched.
and that is why I do not. How do you feel about LARPers?
In what way?
How do you feel about LARPers? Like just in general, you see a LARPer, like what do you think about him?
I like them.
I'm like,
like
fuck
them.
yeah.
I like them.
Yeah.
I like them because there's something like
Please go play
there's
airsoft.
something
Yeah.
visceral.
Please go
in-
play airsoft.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Some of
yeah.
the best privates I ever got played airsoft.
It's fucking great because it brings that out in you. It's like holy shit. There's something about this.
Go
like,
to
I'm not
fucking
actually
battle.
doing it, but you're doing what your your human male body is meant to fucking do, which is go into battle and protect things.
Why
Even
does
if it's not
laser
a
tag
fucking
exist, bro?
airsoft field.
Right.
Why does football exist?
What?
Why does the MMA? Why do
MMA.
Yeah.
men have a
That is
need
the-
to smash bodies against each other and sacrifice ourselves at the fucking wheels of time?
It's the core of it.
We
It
need,
is the foundation of it.
dude. That's it.
A man. You know why all men are fucking depressed?
It's because they're not
not
beating
doing
the
it.
shit out of other
not doing
dudes
it.
in a healthy
You're
setting.
doing it. You are happy when you work hard. You're happy when you give to your family. You're happy. Make $1 million and give 500,000 of it to someone that doesn't have shit. You know, buy a new car and take the old car you had and give it to someone that needs a car, man. And you will walk taller. You will feel better. You feel less depressed because you have a fucking purpose in your life.
Right.
You did something that echoes through the universe.
Yes.
If you remove the belief that you echo in the universe, if you remove the spirituality from humanity, then why the fuck would you do anything for anyone
Why are
else?
you even?
It's pointless.
What are you doing? Everything is a moot point. Every action is moot.
Yes.
Nothing.
And look at what the powers inside the United States did from the 70s on. We destroyed masculinity. We destroyed the religious base of the country. We destroyed the idea
purpose
of a confident man, a confident father. My dad used to rail about it when I was a kid, that shows like Everybody Loved Raymond and all those like the TV sitcoms.
Yeah.
All of the men were jackasses.
Yeah.
They were all
Roseanne?
unfunctional jackasses.
Yeah, you laughed at him because you're like, this guy's a fucking
Oh,
jackass.
what a nerd. But
Yeah.
then like all
What
your
a pussy.
kids,
Yeah.
your kids were sitting there watching it
And
being
they're
like, that's what
oh,
a man is.
That's what man does.
And we all fucked up and weren't like, no, that's not.
You remember Ronnie, the guy that said, "Hey man, do you have those conversations in your head? Like, do you talk to yourself?"
Yeah.
Right. He's Iranian. His father is an Iranian immigrant.
Yeah.
And Ronnie is first generation. His dad is a
One of the best
fucking
Americans
mechanic.
on planet Earth, man.
His dad does not speak a lick of fucking English. Met him several times. Nicest guy. Ronnie, he was working all the time. Ronnie, he said his entire assimilation into American culture, into being a man, we used to get high and he would just turn to Hank of the Hill.
King of the Hill.
He would, and I was like, I asked him one night, and I said, "Dude, what's your fascination with King of the Hill? I mean, I love the show, but like, why But he really deep down, like to his core, loves King of the Hill. He said, King of the Hill made me the man that I am today. And
Like, you know,
Hank
serious.
Hill is the guy who raised me, because my father was at work, and he was, he did the best that he could with what he had. But this is the thing that he put on to show me, like, this guy who owns his propane company and takes care of his family, just
And works
watch
hard.
this while I'm at work.
Pay
You know what I mean?
attention.
Because he didn't know any
Pay
better. He's
attention
like,
to what your
he
kids
was paying
watch.
attention.
Yeah.
Pay attention to what you're
His-
getting.
They are
I know it's a
sponges.
fucking cartoon, but it's like, this
But
is
it
the
taught you
thing.
life values.
Yes.
A Bug's Life.
A
I'm just
Bug's
going to
Life,
keep
right.
coming back to
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
A Bug's Life taught you the idea of free trade, capitalism, democracy, the importance of local community, the importance of family. It was all values inside that.
yeah.
Fucking Bambi.
Dude.
Is the same story.
I grew up on fucking Dragon Ball Z. And
Same story, bro.
the same thing. Train hard, love your woman, be valuable, and defend your fucking morals.
And all
And
you
never
do-
fucking give up.
All you do all day is try to be a Super Saiyan.
Every day. But there was
I hope that
a.
gets edited to like a fucking. I hope we get, someone put flames around.
I'll
that, man.
figure it out, dude. I'll hit up G-Van from Unsub if I have to. I'm like, hey, can you edit this? What was I looking for? I saw this video, dude. This guy put it on social media, and I'm fucking happy he did. He was like, I decided to start living my life like I was from the fucking 1800s. He's like, I moved out into the woods, and he documented it, which is cool. Like, I mean, technically it's not 1800s because he's recording it and putting it on social media. But the whole point is, he's like, I spent the entire day doing chores and working and hunting for my food, and I am fucking exhausted, but I am happy.
I'm happy. And
I
I'm
am
not anxious.
I have never been more happy in my entire life, and I'm excited to do it tomorrow.
If you're sitting around at your house and you feel fucking anxious, you just feel like you don't know what your purpose is in life. You feel like you don't know where you're going. Go buy a chainsaw.
And go cut up some wood and split logs.
Go cut a tree down.
Yep, go cut a tree down and split logs.
Go cut a tree down, whack that thing into like 6 foot, 7 foot sections, carry the logs back up to the house, chunk all that up, split all that shit, stack it up.
You'll never feel happier
The
in
amount
your
of
entire
accomplishment
life.
that you will feel is just unbelievable.
It's unbelievable.
If you go do it in a local park, then that's even better.
Yeah,
There was
I believe I was a lumberjack in a previous
There was
life.
this pivotal moment in my marriage, and it happened not too long ago, where I was starting to get miserable in my own company, like just running my own company. I was constantly in front of the computer, constantly doing digital marketing, just sitting there doing things that humans weren't built to do. Then we decided, hey, we're going to open up a gun shop. And I decided I am not going to pay some contractor a fuck ton of money to come in there and do it. So I went in there and did it myself.
Yep.
Did the fucking floors, did the walls, did the
Dude,
shit,
you were
like
so
that thing.
fucking happy.
Dude, and I'm like, everybody, not in my company, but even in my own household, was like I would come home and my mom would be like, you're different. Why are you different? I couldn't really put a pin on it. And she goes, what have you been doing? Like, and I was like, oh, I'm building out the gun shop. And she was like, keep doing this. She's like, can you just quit? Do you think in work construction and
Well,
and
Why are
not
guys?
do this
Why
and
are
not
blue
do
collar
this
guys
anymore?
happy guys?
That's what I was about to say.
She
Why are the
legit
dudes in
said,
cubicles?
Can you do this on the side or something?
Exactly.
Because it makes you a better
Where's
human.
the active shooter at a construction site?
No, because they're
They shoot
exhausted.
up post offices, man.
Yeah, they're
men break when we have nothing to do.
right.
Yeah.
Why are the dudes that are committing suicide in droves in cubicles?
Yep.
Dentists.
Yeah.
Yep. Fucking dentists,
Yeah.
man. Dentists. That's like they're like one of the highest suicide rates.
rates, yeah.
Mind blowing to me.
Yeah, it
Fucking
really is.
crazy.
You sit one small place for a period of time and do one tiny thing in somebody's mouth, and fuck it, I'm gonna be somebody's mouth all day.
Yeah.
Might as well be a fucking porn star.
I'm just gonna say
And-
it. I'm just gonna say it.
get
We
no
love you,
respect.
dentists. All right.
And get
We
no
love
fucking-
you
and
guys.
everybody fucking hates you.
Yeah, you get
When
no
walk in,
respect.
nobody's happy to fucking
You
see
can't.
you.
Every
Nobody's
any
like,
other
yeah, you're gonna drill my fucking mouth today.
even Dr. Jill Biden gets referred to as doctor. You guys get called dentists.
Yeah.
No one even calls you a doctor,
know,
man.
it's
You're a
gotta be a
fucking
fucking-
doctor, and you like missed out on the doctor shit.
Yeah.
Like,
They made a fucking
no
movie about it.
respect.
Zero,
Fucking
dude.
The Hangover.
And you
While we're in Vegas,
and-
they're like, you're not a doctor, you're a dentist, right at the fucking counter. at
My
the Venetian
insult
where
to
they were at,
people, I used to call like guys in the army like, you're a little girl, and then I had a little girl, and I was like, well, I don't want to. I like my little girl, you know.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
now I
so
call
can't do
people
that.
dentists. If you're being a pussy, I call you a
You're
dentist.
dentist.
Yeah,
So it's, you know, you just get no respect. Man.
Just fucking poor
I think
dentist.
that dynamic needs to change too. Like pussy is a very powerful thing. Let's all agree on that.
Ball sacks are very soft and very delicate.
Like much of the behavior that we have as fucking men is just dictated by the vagina itself.
Dude,
So this is my theory when I was in the military, and I really hope that some of my privates, like for guys that I hung out with back in the day, like watch this. I told every single private that I got that all wars, all humanity, all mankind fights over the ability to have as much pussy as humanly fucking.
It's fucking true. Helen of Troy, dude.
What is the point of any of it? Even if you say,
It's for women.
even
It's
if
all
you
for
say,
women.
Like, you're Hitler, right? And he was very like asexual. You know what I mean? Like that wasn't really. He wasn't necessarily trying to like just get as many women as he wanted, but he wanted the power. He wanted the influence. Why does a man want power and influence? Because biologically, power and influence is attractive to women. I get lots of attention from women.
And we're not just
Biologically,
gonna
I'm
breed
trying
out
to make
10,000
kids.
years of fucking evolution.
Yes, you're not going to get rid of it. So biologically, all a man wants to do is be attractive to a woman. So power, money, control, those things are attractive because it means you can protect them better.
Right.
So
Even if
all
you don't
war
know-
is just a dude trying to get laid, man.
Humans
It really
boils
is.
Down to that.
to its most fundamental form. But like even if you're
It's
not
all
thinking about
corruption.
it like that,
Yeah.
that's what's actually
All
happening,
corruption.
whether
That's
you know it or
why.
not.
That's why the most powerful elites are always the ones that are the worst sexual deviants in the society because
they can do
ultimately,
anything they want.
biologically. That is why they are doing what they're doing.
Right.
Yeah.
Dude, it's funny you brought that up. One of my ex-girlfriends used to say that. She's like, I don't get why people use pussy as a derogatory term. Pussies can take a beating and keep on going.
Yeah.
She's like, ball sacks, you give them a little flick and your fuckers are down. And I'm just like, shit.
Yeah.
She'd be like, don't be a ball sack, dude. And I'm like,
It's kind of psychological too, man.
It
You
is.
can put a woman through shit. You can drag your wife through shit for years.
Yep.
And she will just stand there and fucking take it.
That's right.
The one day that she looks at you and goes, "Get your fucking shit together."
you break.
broken.
Just
you're mad.
broken.
You're angry. You can't believe she would have the gall to say that.
You need to
know
go
who I
out
am,
in
you know
a
how hard I
rainstorm
work.
and walk.
She just went. Blick.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's all it
Broke
was.
your world, man.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened. I mean,
But
you
because
were
it's
talking
because
about
she is that piece.
But I can be an asshole to her for 5 years. And
Yep.
she'll just diligently
Yep.
stand beside
And that
me.
is exactly what fucking happened, dude. Like in the throes of fucking alcoholism, stood by me the entire fucking
Yes.
time. Like, I
Same.
hope you get fucking help. I hope you get.
Same.
But then there came a time where she was like, that or us.
Yes.
Get your shit together. That's not what I fucking signed up for. Do the damn thing, or I'm fucking gone.
That's why-
right? And then even then, and I continued to not conform. She was like, well, that didn't work. Still stayed.
Stay.
Still stayed. And
Stay.
it's like, well, like, how are we gonna do it now? Right? And it really just boils down to like, am I or am I not gonna make that fundamental decision because it lies with me? Right? But she was there the entire time and fully supported the entire time.
You have a
And-
debt. You have a debt.
Oh yeah.
When I
there is a
You
debt.
want
You're
to
absolutely
talk
right.
about the U.S.
debt.
GDP, dude? You got that.
Dude, being in the military broke me in ways that I just was completely unaware of. And there was a time when my daughter sat down on the couch next to me and she kicked her feet up onto my lap and she had these little painted toenails and her feet were all dirty. And there was just something, it related to a combat experience of mine that I had never thought about. I had never put anywhere, just these little kids' feet.
Yep.
It broke me out of nowhere. All of a sudden, I could smell that day. I was living that day. I was trapped in it all of the time. I just couldn't function anymore. I couldn't function at work. I couldn't function at home. I couldn't spend any time with my wife at all. I just poured myself into a bottle. And my wife took all of it. She took my bad days, my shitty attitudes, the fact I never wanted to go anywhere, the fact I never wanted to do anything, the fact I didn't have any sex drive because I was drunk all the fucking time, the fact that I economically hurt our family because of the decisions that I was making. I was fucking with my career and my job and further putting us behind the 8 ball, further damaging our family. I punched holes in walls and doors, and I ultimately locked myself in the bathroom with a shotgun. And I racked it in the room in front of her and terrified her and my daughter. It was the lowest moment of my life. And she was there for me the next day. I can't repay that debt. But every day that I try, I'm going to be a better motherfucker, man.
Yeah.
I'm going to be a better motherfucker every single day. I think if men respected what a woman was, if our society could say women don't have penises and they're important,
Yeah.
the debt that we as men owe them for picking us, because they pick us, man.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't fucking need us.
No.
No.
They pick you. They pick you and they pick you when you're a piece of shit. What's the most attractive that a guy can be? Why do douchebags get so many women? A woman wants a project. They want to fix you.
Yes.
They want to fix you.
Yeah.
If you ask,
Show them
my
that
wife-
you're a broken wing that needs a hug, and they want to
tells the
fix
story
you.
all the time. When I met,
They're
when I met
menders.
my wife,
They
I was
are.
They're
They
caretakers.
are. All men owe such a debt to the woman that chooses to stay with them. And then look at biologically what happens to them. All you want to do is shove your dick down their throat. and they birth your child. They pass on your lineage.
Yeah.
They take your fucking name and pass on the story of you to disappear into history. And when they pass out your child, it destroys their body. It changes how they look. It has a permanent effect on them. And not any effect. One of the most important, like, tradable values that they have is their looks. The way that they operate through the world is manipulating their looks and their woman prowess.
Yeah.
They fucking take that ability and give it away in trust in you and faith in you. Dude, the fucking debt that you owe your wife, if you feel like you're going through a hard time in your life, get married, man.
Yeah.
The first girl that comes along that's fucking interested in you, get married.
Especially when you're going through a hard time
Yes.
in life. Especially.
Yes.
Because when I met my
She
wife,
will pick you up, dust you off, make you a polished turd, and then turn you into something worth a shit. And you should turn around one day and be like, fucking thank you.
When I was bartending, my wife will never fucking not tell you. I was bartending, like, complete dead-end job, had a beat-up fucking Ford pickup truck. I had a fucking breathalyzer in it from a fucking
Bro,
yeah.
She had never fucking seen one before. And like,
I've had
she
so
was
many
like,
dudes
"What is
blowing
that?
those things for me.
What is that?" And I was like, "My car's it's powered on carbon dioxide. I'm like, what with the environment? You know what I mean?"
I gotta blow
I
for a
just
few
gotta
seconds
blow
and
for a few
suck.
seconds. And yeah, I'm in green etnies. I'm wearing a shirt to the first date that had fucking Borat that said, "I like you, I like sex," right?
Yeah.
And she took this thing. She is a.
Would
she is a
you
very,
have picked you?
No.
Fuck no.
Absolutely not.
So my wife is a very. You met her.
Yes.
You met her, and she is a very put together, like
Sensible, put together.
Put together. She is. Like,
She's got her
the
shit
opposite.
together.
But somewhere inside the man that she chooses is that thing that she
can see it.
knows. It's
She
like
can
this
see it.
instinctive
Women see
intuition
through it.
that nobody else sees. We can't fucking see shit when
Yeah.
it comes to potential.
We should
it's
protect
always
that, man.
It's
It's special.
because they can get it. And they say there's something here.
Yeah.
The foundation is a little shaky, but it's there, and I can build upon that
Yeah.
with enough support for this man. He's got the capability.
Can you
He
do
just
that
never
shit?
had the support. Right?
Can you look at another man and see the same potential that they do? Can you look at when you picked your wife? What was the? You might have had criteria. I had things that I wanted my wife to do. I had a belief system of how my family should run. You know.
I can answer that
So like
question.
her
Super
saying
easy.
those things to me, like I wanted to take that bet with you. So I have the ability to look down the road in a similar way.
Right.
But if my wife had been fucking ugly,
Right.
Right.
I totally understand that.
I'm ugly as shit, man.
It's usually like the price to admission to initiate a conversation, and
Yeah.
then the personality and the
Yeah.
values behind it will keep you there.
Yeah, the only thing that got you to pay attention to them, they give away to be
Was
with
their
you.
looks,
There's
yeah.
a way to be with you, 100%.
That should be so respected.
What I saw in my wife, the reason why I stuck around is I knew I wasn't good enough for her, and I knew that I needed to be like a certain way to sustain and maintain the relationship that I had with her.
got it down.
And I wanted it, and as bad as I fucking wanted it, the fucking grips and the jowls of alcoholism that had me, like, would not let me fucking get there, which is my own fucking fault. I'm not blaming it on the fucking bottle by any means. I made the decision to do the things that I did. But
Yeah, you want to.
But there's
Side note: you want to quit drinking? Don't go to AA. Don't go to NA. Don't go to rehab. Don't go to the gas station. That's
don't go to the gas. Yeah.
pretty much it. It's a good idea.
Yeah.
You want to quit
I had
drinking?
a-
Stop buying it.
Yeah.
I had a
If you want to quit drinking,
full-blown-
That's it.
quit
no,
drinking.
no other human being is going to say something to you. No book, no program, no process is going to make you just stop doing it.
do it.
100% wanna
Just
do
fucking
it.
stop.
And the thing is I had to do it and want it 100%.
Yeah.
I could not half-ass sobriety. I couldn't do that fucking thing where I was like, I'm gonna, I'll just do beer.
Have a beer
instead of the
dinner.
hard shit.
Right.
I'll do
Nope.
this shit instead of the hard shit because that was half-ass again. And I'll tell you one thing I never fucking did. I never went halfway to a fucking liquor store. Like I never got halfway there and was like,
yeah, I'm not gonna do
good.
it.
No, I went all the way fucking there.
I never
drank
bought
all
half
the
the
fucking
beer I
alcohol
needed.
inside of it, right? And then I ruined all the relationships that I had around me. Like that's how I did it. So if I needed to do it the other way, I had to do it the other way. I had to get fucking sober 100%.
There was no
and not
one
put
foot out.
any fucking thing. And there are times where people are like, dude, you got to do ayahuasca and go down to Peru. It's eye opening and it's this thing. And I
don't
would
need to
love
be
to be that guy
Yeah.
that is
I don't need
able
to
to
be
fucking do
eye-open.
that.
I don't need to be eye open. I saw a whole full of kids.
Yeah.
I don't need to be eye opened.
Yeah.
I need to take those moments, those experiences that you see in your life, whether you're a combat vet or a cop or firefighter or you're a corporate guy that watches the FDA poison the country. Everyone in the American society has something that is a moment for them. They see the reality of the evil that runs the world. They realize that violence is still the highest commodity in the world.
Right.
that moment should be the thing that inspires you to be a different person.
Right.
You should personally have a moral code that says, I want to produce good, positive things for the world instead of negative shit.
Yeah.
That's all that has to happen. That is the only shift that has to happen in your body. Is that you're just going to set out to do positive shit.
And
I'd be happy to see you.
That is exactly where it fucking sparked in the relationship with my wife. Was there was a human that I saw a direct reflection of who I know I wanted to be, and I wasn't there. Like she was the person. Like I saw inside what she was capable of, like the love that she was capable of, and I knew it existed in somebody. I believed that she had it, and I was like, and I wanted to be that. I wanted to match that, right? And I think she knew my desire to match that, and she believed that. And just stuck around for fucking years until I eventually got like kind of even 10% of that, and I'm still nowhere near it.
Yeah, man.
Still trying. Always will be.
My wife, when I this is my favorite story in the world, and when we first got married, my wife would like lie to people and tell people that we knew each other in high school because she was like embarrassed about it, you know. So I'm in the military, and I have just gotten a really bad DUI. I was clocked at 140 miles an hour, Northern Virginia. I blew a .23 on the scene. My blood was higher; it was a .3. I ran from the cop for 10 miles. He had
Well, at 140, that was like 30 seconds.
I saw him. I come over a crest, one of those big long where it droops down. He was sitting in the middle. I saw him, and I clicked the cruise control off and put the floor down. I had a Dodge Charger that had all
Oh,
this
you were
shit
just like,
deleted
let's
on
go.
it. Yeah, that thing would run, boy. So I saw him and was like, I'm going.
Yeah.
Dude, the police report was the most, in retrospect, it's kind of not that embarrassing. It's kind of gangster, but like at the time, it's very embarrassing. He wrote in the police report that because police have to have like they have to have a thing that makes them activate their lights. And you running you speeding for their county, their local area might not be enough to activate their actual lights and catch you.
Right.
I have to be a threat to like public safety in some way, which I don't know. I feel like I was going fast enough to be. His justification though when he wrote it was that he activated all of his emergency equipment when I dropped onto the shoulder to pass 2 tractor trailer trucks at in excess of 100 miles an hour, right?
Right.
I'm blowing down the road, right? And my uncle had been a cop in Tennessee for like 30 years. And when I was younger, I would tell him like, oh man, like we go street racing with these shitty little Hondas and we run from the fucking cops all the time and they can't catch us. And he grew up doing the same thing in the 70s, like muscle cars. Like you just get to the next county and the cop turns his lights off and turns around. You know what I mean?
So you're thinking this is gonna happen to me?
Bro, yeah. I've run from the cops my whole life. You're not catching me.
Yeah.
The cop car's got a governor that's lower than mine. I don't have a governor in this shit at all. I'm gonna hammer it down the road.
Yeah.
I come up. My uncle had always told me that you can outrun the cop. You can't outrun the radio.
Yeah.
Right.
The motor is always faster than the Motorola.
Yes.
Or the Motorola is always faster than the motor. Yeah.
And he told me when I was a kid, don't ever run from the police on the interstate because they talk to the truckers, man. And
they will block you off.
Crested this hill, and there was 3 tractor trailer trucks across the interstate, man. And I just pulled over, lit a cigarette. I smoked a whole cigarette before the cop parked behind me, man.
Just sitting there.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm fucked.
So it's a bad DUI. I didn't get popped pulling to the gate, man. I'm without a mileage pass from Clarksville, Tennessee, in Northern Virginia, doing 140 miles an hour, documented through radar, with a .3 something blood alcohol content. I couldn't have done it any worse.
While in the military.
Without
a mileage pass.
So I get back. That happens on like a Saturday night, right? And I'm able to get out of jail, get through everything, and get back to Tennessee with my car, out of impound, everything. I get back by Tuesday, first formation. I say that story to say all of that happens, and I am looking at 6 years worth of invested time in the military, something like that. Mm-hmm. I'm promotable. I've already been in a platoon sergeant role. I've already been in a senior scout role. My NCOERs are amazing. I'm going places. I am fucking going places in the military, and I have blown it up. And there's a very real chance that in 30 days, I'm going to be back at my mom's house with no driver's license, no money, no VA, anything, no GI Bill, nothing. I will be back where I started and probably worse than before I'd gone in the military. And while I'm waiting for my court case, I meet my wife.
Oh, shit.
She sends me a friend request on Facebook, which in my mind, that's an
open invitation.
That's a green light. She can say what she wants that I sent the first message, but you sent me a friend request. That's a green light.
Yeah.
So
you're flaunting the eyelashes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I smooth talk her, and I'm in Clarksville, Tennessee, on like western side of Tennessee. She's in Charlottesville, Virginia. Bristol, Tennessee is the halfway point. So we both drive 5.5 hours, meet in Bristol, Tennessee, and have like a date that night of takeout Chinese food in a hotel room, spend the entire night talking to each other. We get married a month and 10 days later, man.
Nice.
Yeah. She marries me
about this entire thing that is happening.
Oh no, she's involved in it, man. She has to go to court with me to give up my driver's license. She is well aware the whole time that my life is falling apart. When I married her, I overdrafted my bank account by $400 to pay for the stuff at the courthouse to like get the marriage license and all that stuff. I tipped the preacher a $100 bill because it was I only had $400 bills. So I tipped the guy that married us a $100 bill, and then we went to lunch at like a shitty like Applebee's kind of place. That was our marriage.
Amazing.
That's awesome.
That was our wedding day.
Yet you've got men in this society that will be built up, supported, and propped up by the woman that they are with throughout their entire life. Allow their kids to hit 18 years old and trade her in for a newer model.
Yeah.
This is the end.
But that's
disgusting.
But that's masculine.
My
wife came along and
got rid of you, and now I'm dating a 20-year-old.
My wife came along and found this sun-baked turd that someone else had stepped in and picked it up and built a man out of it.
Right.
You know, like the value of a woman in your life, the value of your family, man, it just cannot be understated.
It's unbelievable. Guys, we are going to run out of battery here. So, unfortunately, we do have to wrap this up. We got like 8% left, so we still got a little bit of time.
Right.
Is there anything else we want to talk about?
There's got to be something you want to get off your chest as far as things that we were going to talk about in the very beginning. Just tell us a little bit about yourself. What started you on the mission of doing what you're doing? I fucking absolutely love. Like, I get up and I have my coffee in the morning and I fucking watch videos because they're so impactful for me. I mean, like, legit. Like, it's like something that I'm like, when I don't, Instagram knows. Yeah. Like, when I'll go Instagram, it's like, boom, Mad Minute. You're the first one on every fucking time. And I'll watch or rewatch it, and the reason why is because it's just a great way to start my day. It's always a great fucking message to hear from you.
It's literally all my Instagram stuff's literally just my diary, man. I don't know what else to do with it. I'm not naturally super creative, you know. I don't know, so it's just a thought that's rolling around.
You're just telling the truth.
Yeah. And most of the time, if you watch something,
I'm glad you're not creative.
Well,
then you might not be. Well, and I think you are incredibly creative, so I'll counter that. But what I think's happening is like you may not be using creativity to spin the thing that's going to get people to like it. You're just telling the fucking truth.
Yeah, a lot of the times, like if you watch me, it's a 90-second thing where I talk about like the importance of being a masculine man and like what the fuck you need to do in your life. If you just watch that, it is probably because I violated all of those rules that I am telling you to live by yesterday.
Yep.
And today I am sitting in my shit.
Right.
I am sitting in my shit about it today, realizing the mistakes that I made. And I am trying to publicly say, like, if we all collectively are open and honest with each other about what we're fucking up, then we are all having a shared experience. We are all gaining that knowledge of failure together by sharing our failures with each other. We don't all have to learn the lessons the hard way.
Right.
If we're just open as men with each other.
Or we catch them faster.
Yes.
Right? If I hear that you say something and
you're like, man, I'm doing the same shit.
In my mind, I'm like, oh shit, I'm doing that same shit.
Yeah, doing the same thing.
It provides awareness.
Right.
Yeah.
Right?
So when I was growing up, I went to a private Christian school. Your belief system was very controlled inside that environment, being heavily in a private Christian school and then only at church all the time.
It's the same thing growing up in like an evangelical household,
yes,
a Muslim house. It's all.
But there is an amazing value that comes with that stuff. My opinions of what a family is and masculinity, it all comes from that environment. Right. It's just I've investigated it in the world, and it's a proven theory. It absolutely is the way to live. You know. But when I was growing up, my dad was involved in this group called Promise Keepers. Promise Keepers was an international group of men that essentially had Bible studies together. And it was a money grab, like everything in life is a money grab. You had to have the T-shirt and the VHS set, and you had to have their workbook. And, you know what I mean? It was a money grab.
Yep.
But the concept behind it was that we as men are promise keepers. We as men are going to hold that line. We as men are going to defend our families. We as men have a responsibility to the world, to history, to the future. That's our place. That's why we're here. You can remove the biblical part of it. You can remove the money grab of it. They would sell out NFL stadiums and pack them with men who wanted to live those values. That's amazing.
Yeah.
When I watched the military become unfunctional because of the DEI agenda, the ESG agendas, the agendas that said anyone can do any job, the military stopped functioning, and I watched it fall apart.
From within.
And it broke me as a person so much that I was convinced that my pursuit of excellence, get in a gunfight, and tell me that you walk away from that environment with a belief that you can be lazy today. You couldn't move fast enough. You couldn't shoot fast enough. You couldn't get your fucking magazine and your gun. You realized that your shoes were untied. You realized that stupid pouch on your magazines only slowed you down. You identified all of these issues in a 30-second period that will permanently affect you for the rest of your life, that you must be detail-oriented and you must pursue excellence. That is what you will get from a gunfight. My argument from that environment is the environment we're saying we work in. We live in the military to gunfight. And I am telling you from my experience in a gunfight that attention to detail and the pursuit of excellence is what is going to keep you alive. And the chain of command inside the military is telling me that I'm a racist for believing that I am a homophobe, that I am sexist, that I am all these other things for saying that there should be standards. There should be standards that I hold myself to. There should be standards that we hold people in this job to. It broke me to the point that I believed that I was the problem. I believed that my pursuit of excellence in my own life, even as much as I'm getting DUIs and getting in bar fights and throwing my personal life away, my work ethic, my belief system is one of personal excellence. They broke me to the point that I wanted to blow my own brains out. I wanted to blow my own brains out in front of my wife, in front of my daughter, because I am failing you. Yeah. And I'm working so hard at not failing you. And yet I'm going to work every day and being told that I'm the problem, that I'm destroying the organization, I'm destroying privates, I'm destroying my family. I'm being actively told that I'm the problem because I believe in being good at what I do.
They're pulling the brick out of your value
yes.
foundation.
Yes, it broke me. You said that my entire way that I viewed the world catastrophically changed inside of gunfight environments, and you labeled that PTSD. PTSD calmed my anxiety and made me detail-oriented and excellence-driven. And you labeled that as a negative fucking thing. You labeled my ability to sit in a room and view a crowd and clock everyone in that crowd and assign each one of those people to what vehicle they drive in the parking lot, because I noticed all the vehicles in the parking lot when I walked in here. You're telling me that that is a superpower that's a problem. And now that superpower, I can't not do it.
Right.
I can't not do it because what if right now one of these assholes stands up with a gun?
Right.
The only way I'm walking out of here, the only way my kid is walking out of here is that I put in that attention to detail and that pursuit of excellence before the moment happened.
Right.
My chest says sweat saves blood. The amount of fucking effort that you put in today is directly equitable to the outcome that you will get tomorrow.
Yes.
If you don't want to deal with dead homeboys, if you don't want to deal with problems in your society, fix it fucking today. And they told me that philosophy was the failure of mine. So I leave, right? I blow my life up in the military. I lock myself in the bathroom with a shotgun. I'm an acting first sergeant at the time, and they take all my soldiers away. They take my only reason to fucking be there. The only reason I'm still signing re-enlistment contracts is because I don't want anyone else taking these guys down range.
Please hold that real quick, because I don't want this to cut off. No, you're good. I'm going to swap out the battery.
I'm so sorry.
No, you're good. No, I want this. Oh, you could have walked by any time, brother.
This is like the most important thing.
No, absolutely. And that's...
Thank you for giving me time.
Yeah, no. This is...
Yeah, just comment real quick. I've done that multiple times. This Animal House, this is like one of my buddies, and I sat down and we did like a 4-hour thing. We had the same conversation, and I deleted it all right out.
No fucking way.
Yeah.
There you go.
How do I jump back in the middle of that? So
you were right at. Just to preface at the beginning, you went right into. You were telling me that this one thing that I had after the shotgun moment, you took it away from me.
I realized in that moment when I'm trying to rebuild myself, right, that the 22 vets a day, the suicide rate inside the military, it isn't because of PTSD. It isn't because of what we saw in Afghanistan. It's because we learned a new value system. We came home with it. And the power inside of the military convinced all of us that value system was the problem. And it was a core ethos that I could not remove anymore. My belief in America, my belief in personal sacrifice, my belief in excellence, I cannot remove those things from me. They are implanted in my fucking DNA now. So the only way that I can not be that is to just not be me. Right. If you are telling me that I don't fit into my job and I don't fit into society anymore, man, get out of the military and go home. You don't have a family. You have strained relationships with your family and the friends that you did have, and you're in college with kids that are 10 years younger than you. You're gonna shoot yourself, man.
Yeah.
You're gonna shoot yourself.
Believe me, I thought about it. That exact fucking thing. Going into college with kids that are 10 years younger than me that think it's a fucking joke that anybody would have served in the first place.
Yeah. And so the Army breaks me because of that. And ultimately, there's a lot of things that I do that lead to it. You know, like there's a lot of bad decisions that I made that was leading to it. But a lot of those bad decisions was coming from the fact that I was a broken human being. So I end up getting arrested. I lock my wife out of the house, and the cops show up, and I spit on cops, and I fight on cops, and I end up going to a drug and alcohol rehab program. And it is the most humbling, embarrassing experience of my life because I am still having to come back to work as a staff sergeant who had an extremely good reputation across the squadron, probably across the fucking division. And now no one will talk to me. The lowest private doesn't want to be seen with me, you know? It was devastating.
Yeah.
So I leave, and I just believe that I can start over. I get a job working on a farm. It's an awful job. I'm just mowing grass. It's just straight blue collar, hard labor. I'm making $8 an hour. It sucks, man. I get a job with the local fire department, and I just do the same. I do what you're telling me to do. You're telling me that this is a job where excellence matters. This is a job where my technical ability on difficult calls and my ability to stress mitigate and risk mitigate is the thing that will win the day. So I apply the things that made me successful in the military into the fire department. I chase certifications, most of them on my own dime, on my own time, because they're not valued by the system. We have to go out on my own and learn how to do these things. I have to get with more experienced firefighters off shift on my own free time to learn how to do the actual job, because none of the certifications actually teach you how to do the job, just like basic training versus an actual gunfight.
Right.
Those two things are not the same. And in a course of 4.5 years, the fire department that I work for does the same arc that the military did.
Right.
In the COVID years that I'm going to smoke this whole podcast on.
Whatever.
What came with the federal funding with COVID was not just a mandated shot. It was a mandated mindset. And I fucking bucked it. I said, no. If you guys go this route, if you guys say that anyone can do anything, if you guys say that the physical fitness standards don't actually matter, if you guys say that the only thing you need to do to be good in this job is get through Fire 1, through basic training, you will have an entire department of people that are unable to function. And I screamed it at everyone that would listen to me, because like I just watched the military go from the most effective fighting force on planet Earth to the most ineffective junk group of people ever to exist. It's completely unfunctional now.
Yeah.
Like, the fire department started saying the same thing to me. You are a problem. You are the issue. To the point that I'm in an HR meeting where the HR director calls me a racist to my face.
Based on what?
Based on there was a black guy that we had hired that had failed some of his certifications.
Okay, I see.
Been fairly vocal about the fact that was an issue.
And he just happened to be black.
He was failing. We were boys.
Yeah,
I got along with him. I got along with him. We liked the same music. When I drove the rookie bus around, I would give the aux cord to him because we got down on shit. I grew up selling crack, man. I fucking get you, bro. I'm from the same place, man. Like, let's put some shit together. Like,
But the second you're like, hey, this guy is not meeting the criteria and the standards that we set forth in this department.
He was a fucking car thief, man, that the fire department hired. He has to go through the same background check to be a cop. He should have never been there in the first place.
Right.
He currently is serving time for malicious wounding and stalking on his girlfriend. Okay. And they picked him over me. I wake up in the middle of the night and he's going through my backpack. And I jumped up and was like, get the fuck out of my room.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of my room and don't touch my shit.
Yeah.
And he immediately bucked back on me. He physically moves the captain out of the room. He physically shoves me around the room. He is a 6'5", 260-pound ex-University of Virginia fucking lineman. And I'm toe-to-toe bowed with this man thinking,
here we go.
I'm going to make you remember me.
Yeah.
You're about to kill me, but I'm going to make you remember me.
You won't look the same.
Yeah, get the fuck out of my room, man. I'm more senior than you. I taught your fucking rookie school, and you're stealing from me.
Yeah.
Get out of my room. I have to go and sit in an HR meeting, and they tell me I'm a racist. They tell me I'm a problem. They told me that the incident, I failed to control the incident because of my PTSD.
There it is again.
The HR department doesn't have any piece of anything that says I have PTSD. There is absolutely nothing. There is no way for them to make that a diagnosis of the problem. The only reason that they said that is because I'm a veteran.
Right.
They just assumed that I had an anger issue rather than looking at anything. They assumed that I hate black people because I'm a white dude. Why the fuck am I best friends with Twista, man? Ask everybody here. Why is the whole crowd of famous black dudes, of famous black shooters, why is the production company that I work with, Guns Out, John Keys, their entire mission in life is arming black people? I'm a racist, bro?
Yeah.
All my friends from the army are Puerto Rican guys, or black guys. What are we talking about, man?
Yeah.
So I quit, dude. I can't.
Yeah.
I can't, man. And the moment that I quit, my wife had just gotten in this bad car accident. She was okay, but it rattled her.
Yeah.
And she was like, I want to be a stay-at-home mom. This isn't what I'm supposed to do. I want to be a stay-at-home mom. So I quit my job out of absolutely nowhere. She motivates me to do it. And neither one of us have a job, man. I started selling T-shirts in a...
Nice.
I went to this barbershop. There's this old lady named Betty that lives out near me, man. And when I got out of the military, I'm not going to go talk to a shrink, right? There's no crazier people in the world than a fucking shrink.
Dude.
Yep.
They believe that they can fix you. You're insane.
Listen, every single shrink becomes a shrink because they want to solve their problems through you.
Through you, yeah.
So
it's going the other direction.
Yeah.
I just don't see it.
Talk to this whole time, man. I'm trying to rebuild my life, living in the country, living in Virginia, like trying to put it together. And I'm going once a week to this old lady named Betty, man, and she would come out here, and I would fucking cry in there, dude. I would vent to her all the problems in my life, and she was just this like grandmother person that didn't know me, right? She can't use it against me. She can't come after me with any of it. She just fucking listens to me, and she motivates me week after week after week after week after week to stay in the fire department, to like fight the good fight, like. And then one day she motivates me. She's like, "You have to fucking leave." So I gotta pay the bills, right? So I remember I was telling you when we were eating breakfast this morning that like before I left, I took all these lines of credit for stuff I knew I was gonna need, and I literally knew I would never pay them a dime.
Yeah.
I got on one of those T-shirt presses, like
Printify.
like Printify, one of those things.
Yeah.
I got one of those Affirm loans for like $3,500. I
Okay.
printed all these fucking Mad Minute Tacticians T-shirts that just said it's okay to be dangerous, right? It's okay to have a fucking standard in your life and be a man. It's okay. It's okay. Don't feel bad, bro. Don't shoot yourself. It's fucking okay, man.
Yeah.
So I go down to the job that I've just quit, onto the training ground where there's the new rookie school, man. And I just had all the boxes in my truck. And I go to my boys.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, you guys know where I'm at? We buy a T-shirt from me. We just buy a T-shirt from me. The entire rookie class. There's guys that bought 5 fucking T-shirts, man, because they knew I was getting me fucking groceries, dude. So I go to Betty, man. I go to Betty at this little hair shop out in the middle of nowhere. And I go to her and I'm like, hey, I left and I don't know what to do. Can I set some milk crates up in the corner of the room and fill them with my T-shirts? Will you sell my T-shirts to people while you cut my hair? Dude, I was picking up $600 a week from her, man.
Fuck.
I stood in a grocery store parking lot and harassed anybody that was going in the door and sold T-shirts. It's how I kept the lights on in my house. There is something better that we are capable of doing, man. And if I can fund it, selling T-shirts through Instagram, if I can fund it by coming out to SHOT Show and making a meeting where someone will give me some ad dollars, if I can build an army of promise keepers, if I can build an army of dangerous dads, if I can take every veteran, every firefighter, every cop that's disavowed, that's been told they're the problem around the country and put together a group of fucking people, man, we're gonna change the fucking world. We're gonna change the fucking world because every single one of us feels broke. Every single one of us has been thrown away and thrown in the fucking trash. And every single one of us has a wife, has a child that has stood behind us and kept us alive. Every guy that shot themselves didn't have a support group. And the worse that it gets, the more we need each other, man. The more we fucking need each other. And I don't want to do anything that I'm doing because I want a drop top convertible. I don't want to do anything that I'm doing because I want a bigger house, because I want to fly private, because I want to get fucking tickets to the Hux party. I don't want any of it. I want to take every disavowed man that believes in personal commitment, personal sacrifice, and excellence, and I want to put together a fucking army and fix it. I want to fix it because our kids deserve better. My grandfather, there is a holiday, I don't even remember the island. There is a holiday in the Pacific that is thrown every year because this bridge got defended by these guys. My grandfather grew up in a family of 12. His father leaves. He starts coal mining at 14 years old to support a family of 11 other people. He supports that family until he goes to World War II. He goes into World War II believing that the government allowed Pearl Harbor to happen. He didn't believe in our government. He believed in it was his fucking job, right? We have been attacked. It is my personal fucking responsibility to defend my family the same way as I'm providing for my family. He was 14 with that belief. He goes into the military at 17 fucking years old. He lands on multiple beaches. He gets multiple fucking silver stars. He had the craziest stories of anyone I've ever heard in my life, talking about how an M1 Garand will go 5 men deep before it stops knocking people down. The man had a sword from a Japanese officer that he watched charge the hill on his own, and they mowed him down right before they got to him. They just watched him. What kind of commitment to your belief system did that guy have? And every year there's a holiday on this island for the defense of that bridge. There are people that celebrate what those Americans did there. And I'm going to give up? Man, I have a responsibility to the future, and I have a responsibility to the past. I have a responsibility to the men that walked this ship before me. I have a responsibility to the men that built this. It's me. It's mine. It isn't anyone else's. We have to stop thinking that we're going to elect the right person. We have to stop thinking that we're going to shop with the right company. We have to stop thinking that where our fucking optic is made is the value of our moral integrity. We have to just be men that are committed to an end goal and back plan off of it. Fix your fucking self before you do anything else. And if we just build strong men, if we just build families, if you reach out into all these law enforcement departments and tell the guys that are still there that, dude, we got your back. We all went to Afghanistan for 20 years. We all went to Iraq for 20 years. The special operations guys went to every other shitty country on planet fucking Earth for 20 years. And our expectation was that everyone here was going to just be caretakers of here. We were founded by Minutemen, and we were supposed to be maintenance men. And while we fought that war, nobody did anything here. The system broke. It's our job to fucking fix it again, man. It's our job to be in every level of politics. It's our job to grow billion-dollar companies that will arm American people and not the DOD. If the things that are going on in Texas, if the country split today, if there was a shot fired in Texas today, Daniel Defense would arm the fucking execution squads. They would not arm the American people. And us at SHOT Show, all of the money that's being thrown around here, multi-million-dollar booths catering to the Defense Department and actively just not giving a shit that none of the general consumer comes to them, dude, it is such a problem. It is such a big problem. It's such a big problem. We should be screaming about it from the roofs, man. That's all I want to do. And I don't want to pick a fight. I want to be positive, man.
Right.
I want to be positive.
You want to change it.
That is my whole issue with Lucas Bakken. That is my whole issue with the platform and the way that he is using that platform is that you have the potential to motivate and you're being negative. You are being divisive for potentially no reason. Maybe to sell more stuff to make more money. So you grow a following to say that Daniel Defense is an issue and then you become it. We should be men of moral stature that aren't compromisable, man. And we should be willing to fucking, I say this shit to every group of young guys that I work with, every rookie school that I taught in the fire department, every group of guys that I got as a private when I was in the Army, every one of you guys that was ever around me, they all know this saying. If there are things in life worth dying for, which you here believe, you wouldn't be a cop, you wouldn't be a firefighter, you wouldn't be a soldier if you weren't willing to die for your belief system. If there are things worth dying for, then there are things worth going to prison for, and there are things worth being written up for. You have to do the right thing regardless of the fucking consequences. And if you judge men by the color of their collar and not the color of your character, you will fucking fail in life. Be a man that values men that commit to things and get shit done. Draw a hard line for yourself and apply standards to yourself. Pursue fucking excellence in your life. And if you do that, you will turn around one day and there will be 100 people behind you doing the same shit, man. That is the only way to fix our country. It has to start at home, man. I want to say, like, thank you to you guys.
No,
thank you to you guys for letting me be here. Thank you for you letting me tell my story. Dude,
I can't thank you enough, man. Like that was.
I had an overwhelming
right now.
I had an overwhelming amount, like a truly humbling amount of cops. And dude, I had cops, I had FBI guys, I had feds, I had firefighters, I had professionals from all different walks of life stop me while I walked around SHOT Show this year. I didn't know anybody would fucking know me. And I was stopped every 10 minutes for someone to shake my hand and say, thank you for saying the thing I can't say. That's all I wanted to do. That's all I wanted to do. Was I wanted to leave the fire department and tell the world what the fuck's going on. Because we watched Uvalde and it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough to let everybody know that they're not coming, man. Nobody's coming. If some bad shit happens around you, it's on you.
It's on you.
And it's not a thing about response times. It's not a thing about living in a big city versus a rural area. It has nothing to do with any of those things. It is the fact that every level of first responder agency during the COVID years drank the DEI formula. They were forced to by the federal government, and everyone that disagreed with it was fired or left. There is no one with a backbone left running any of those organizations. There's an entire workforce of guys being persecuted inside those organizations. But the top levels, the people that could have said, no, we don't want your funding, didn't.
Right.
They are the sheriff at Uvalde that showed up to the school, gave his radio away, and said in a press statement 3 days afterwards that the reason he gave his radio up is because he didn't know he was in charge. If it isn't you, if it isn't your fucking responsibility, whose is it? Whose is it? Even if there had been the president of the United States to respond to that incident, you had a responsibility to the people underneath of you. You were in charge of the people underneath of you. No one else was.
You have the responsibility.
You were there.
For people around
Yes,
you.
and you legitimately, those kind of people legitimately believe that they can just abdicate their responsibility, and that's all they have to do. They just have to say, I didn't know I was in charge, and it's okay. That cannot, our system cannot continue to work like that. It cannot continue to work like that. In the HR departments, the police departments, fire departments, all the federal jobs, all of those things, the way that they promote people is through HR departments, not through the guys in the field. We do not promote guys that are good at the job that pursue excellence. We promote people that are good in an HR meeting. And what does HR value? Conflict resolution. They don't want someone who's conflictory. They don't want someone who's motivated. They don't want someone who chases excellence. They don't want someone who's going to look at fatties at work and say, you're 400 pounds. If I'm spraying water in this room, enough water to fill a fucking swimming pool in 5 minutes, and we're just dumping it onto this fucking hardwood floor, and you're 400 pounds, your ass is going through that floor. It isn't a physical fitness standard because I think you're gross. It's a physical fitness standard that, like, please don't kill me today.
Or if I go down, you're not going to be able to
get you out.
Yeah.
I can't get you out. Or you're going to put our lives at risk because we then have to go after you.
Yeah, I can't get you out, or if I go down, you're not getting me
A
out.
fire doubles in size every 15 to 30 seconds depending on the fire load. It will fucking swallow you inside of a room before you can find the door. And if you have a 400-pound fatty that had a cardiac episode in the middle of that room, you are both dead because you are in shape. You believe in dying with your brothers.
Yeah.
But because you give him a fact, which is, this is unhealthy, this is going to kill the men that you're with because they're going to try to get you out, then you're fired.
You're fired. When you're supposed to be in shape, you're supposed to be looking after.
We built a reward system for people that don't chase excellence. And what you are left with is organizations that aren't excellent.
That's well said right there. I mean, it really is. That's exactly what it is. You build a reward system. You actually honor it instead of question it.
Yeah. Right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank
Seriously.
you guys for letting me be here.
One thing that I'd like to wrap this up with is I want you to. Yeah, I know. And honestly, there is. For those of you expecting the normal outro, that's obviously not going to happen on this episode. The outro that I want to give while we wrap this up is your ability to find their ability, the viewer's ability to find you and what platforms to find you on. We will put the links in the description as we always do, but just let them know your primary platform.
So I'm Mad Minute Tacticians on every social media thing. I sat down like a week ago and blitzed everything. I'm on Rumble, I'm on Twitter, I'm on absolutely everything. The best content is on Instagram. If you want a chance to talk to me, Instagram is the best place.
That's where the diary's at, right?
Yeah, the diary is on Instagram. The YouTube is coming. I'm gonna get money behind me at some point. I have like much better quality of production. The YouTube is just gonna get better and better and better, man. Yeah. They're gonna give me someone in the world is gonna give me a platform to fucking yell at the elites through it.
I can't wait. This was one of the most powerful podcasts or conversations that I've ever sat in my entire life, to be completely honest with you. And I don't cry often. I cry when I cry when I can't not cry.
Bro, I cry a lot now.
I know, but yeah.
If I like you, man, I will come up to you, and you don't have to know me. If I like you, I'll come up and hug you and be like, I love you.
You know what I find myself, not to continue this like conversation. I know when something is true when I cry. I feel myself like tearing up when I'm saying things that I know deep down inside me to be true, even if it's not even sad.
How much energy did you just vibrate into the universe?
You know what I mean? Like that's when I feel my tears like welling up when I'm complimenting somebody, for example, even just a compliment. And I know it's true from deep down inside, not some bullshit blanket, yeah, you're doing a great job, but hey, you fundamentally did this thing for me and I want you to know how it feels. Like my tears will well up. And this was one of the most cathartic experiences that I've had, especially given the fact that you're a vet and really kind of like putting this PTSD thing in perspective, that label that, it is a fucking superpower. It is like not ADHD. It's a pretty amazing way to look at it.
Why does every soldier I was ever around that was like a quality guy that could function under stress, that could function under pressure, every cop, firefighter that I've ever been around in my life that could function well under pressure, they're crack babies, man. We all have ADHD. We operate on level 10. When the world gets to level 10, we're already there.
Yeah.
We're
Just all the time.
going.
I'm there on the couch.
I need to handle that massive like external hemorrhage. I need to manage your airway. I need to manage this. I need to manage that. I need to cut your clothes off so I can see if you have other problems on. I have this whole list in my head of all these things I have to do. Dude, that's how I'm walking through a room.
Right.
It's already
What's
how
going
I'm
on up
walking
there?
through a room.
Listen to these people right here. What's going on in the door? I do my scene.
It's already how I'm walking through a room. I can walk up and look inside of a car and see 2 people mangled inside of it, and all I start doing is problem solving. And I'm risk mitigating while I'm problem solving because I have a superpower. Stop saying it's an issue. Stop saying that PTSD is an issue. Stop wearing it like a badge of honor that you have fucking PTSD.
And then driving that individual further into depression, thinking they have a problem until they kill themselves.
Everything I've ever seen about PTSD is that like, hey man, brother, you're gonna get better one day. Fuck that. Fuck that.
Yeah.
You got hit by a nuclear reactor. You're a superhero, man. No one else on planet Earth got to experience those kind of stressful environments. You unlocked something that other people don't know about. You supercharged a part of your brain that will allow you to fight a saber-toothed tiger. Be proud of it, man.
Right.
Yeah.
Lean into it.
Fantastic fucking way to look at it. Dude.
Maybe don't be angry.
Yeah, just
Maybe don't be angry.
Maybe don't be angry.
You don't have to walk through life.
Yeah. Thank you again for everything. For everything and the time the time that you gave to us today. I'll never forget it, and this is definitely something I'm going to watch over and over for a very long time. In fact, as soon as my son can speak English,
Just play it.
watch this. Yeah, just like in the background. And fuck lullabies. Yeah,
I want to do a little I do a little call out because I had this like
of course, yeah.
So to all you guys that are in like professional level jobs, if you're a cop, a firefighter, a first responder, if you work for the feds, if you're a pilot, if you're a school teacher, if you're anything like that, if you work inside of the government and you see what I see. You see how broken this system is. Send me a coin, send me a patch, send me something from your organization, and I'm gonna build a wall. I'm gonna build a wall behind me, and I'm gonna run a podcast. I don't know what it's gonna be about. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but your coin, your agency logo, is going to show everyone that watches my stuff that there is a belief across the board in every state and every city of this country from the first responders saying that the system is broken. It is you agreeing with me and putting your name on that wall behind me. If you see the same thing that I see, send me your shit so that I can have that validation for people that watch it. I can be able to make the argument it's going on everywhere, man. It's going on everywhere because I don't have a way to prove it. I have,
until you get that back of
I can't screenshot your Instagram message and put it
on the wall.
Yeah.
Got it.
Send me a patch. Send me a coin. Send me something, man.
Yeah.
That's a damn good idea.
Yeah.
To validate the support.
That's what I'm saying.
Right on.
Just build a wall.
Thanks
Thank you.
again, Jacob. And thank you guys for
Thank you
watching,
guys
sticking
for
around
watching.
through
Check
this.
him out.
I can't wait to have you on the next one, man. We could be on yours.
I'm gonna cry even more.
Yeah.